Welcome to the GRG podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter at KMega4.
K-Mega's just like, man, fucking white people, I swear.
See? You know what, ladies and gentlemen, you're absolutely right. You just heard him say it. I didn't say it. He said it. Anyway, welcome to the GRG podcast. Let dark do dark things. I did not say that to my white brothers and sisters. That was dark. That was dark. But you know what I'm saying?
It's true. Yeah.
catch him.
It was the white man who said it, not
It-
anybody else. Damn it.
It was, but he's really Latino, so you can't trust him either. You just don't know. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
you can't trust me. You
know
can't. You don't know.
There are politicians
I'm
out
like
there that nobody knows if it's real name, Santos or whatever that dude got. Man,
They don't even know if I actually have a birth certificate or not.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. That's wow.
I'm gonna have to show papers.
Disrespectful. All right, monetization's already gone. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Is it? I didn't cuss.
What's going on, everybody? GRG Podcast is live. You know it's Friday. Oh, man, it's our time, man. Let's go. You know, the late night hype is here. It returns. Episode 261 on episode of 300 this year. I was going to say this season. This year. Now I'm talking like Xbox 448. I don't know why he separated with seasons. Because right, because like Xbox is probably almost close to maybe 5, 6. I know he's got to be over 500 episodes. He's got to be close to maybe 600 episodes. And I think that's more of an accomplishment than do it. But I don't think people really pay attention to that like that. But I don't know, man. And I've been on that damn show ever since day one. And you saying,
I don't even know what season he's on right now.
I know. That's how we need to ask him. I'm gonna have to ask him next week, man. What?
like what season are you on, bro?
What season are you on, bro? Like, I mean, what is this anyway?
I mean, wouldn't it be better to just do the seasons by the year?
Well, that's what he did.
That's what he tries to do.
Yeah, he did.
But he stopped doing it.
But he stopped doing it. So I'm like, I don't know what it is going. When the archives, when the YouTube when we are dead and gone or and ash, and if YouTube is still standing strong, when they go and they check Xbox 448's channel, they're going to be like, this. We found this archive, but we don't know how many episodes were there. So we have to go find them. And like, because I mean, there could be missing.
We got to count them.
We got to count them by hand. Oh my God. Anyway, at least you know the number here. You know what I'm saying? And there's a couple of times like when I would get off work, the numbers would be off. So I would cheat myself. Like I would say like this was episode like 3 episodes from what it actually was. And then I got corrected. And then I don't, but I just said, let me just keep it or whatever. But I'm keeping up to it now. So
what you're telling me is that people didn't let you be country, huh?
No.
Damn them.
No.
Damn them.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do this, man. Ham Solo, we'll see if he comes in here. I did not get a message from him or anything, so he could be asleep because he did like triple duty. Like he did 2 podcasts at one time. Then he did something earlier, and then he was in a space. Then he had a podcast yesterday. Like I said, man, burnout boy. You know what I'm saying? That man.
Yeah.
I give it 3 more years. That little ass frizzy afro is gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? That little frizzy ass afro is gone, Jack. It's out of here.
Dang. You saying he's gonna go bald?
Yeah. If he keeps on going at the pace that he's doing, that little fuzzy ass afro is gone.
He's gonna go bald like you?
Hey,
Dang.
yeah. Man, I was on the podcast, man. I was like, why my hair just falling out in chunks?
It just trickled out, huh? It just it's all them years with Xbox 448. That's what
it was doing all the podcasts with Next Gen and them before that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. I forgot you used to do Next Gen podcasts with Porter Rock and all them. Yeah,
man. Yeah, I was over there fighting for that. Yeah, that's why I give Dirt Greedy. I always appreciate that he always said, always said some really nice stuff about, me fighting a good fight at that time, and he always just showing respect, man. I really do appreciate that from Dirt.
Yeah, man, you held your own on a lot of that.
Oh man, I did, but it was rough times. But anyway, again, Xbox is now seemingly in rough times. Listen, it's not even close to that. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna sit here and let you guys know how we feel about the whole situation. But before that, let's go ahead and introduce the panel. You know what I'm saying? We might be a little bit short, but you know how that is. Usually somebody comes in later, and next thing you know, we got like 5 or 6 people in here. And if not, then we'll have a good, comfortable relaxing show. So that's fine. Without, you know what I'm saying? I think Miss Betty finally did you hire Miss Betty? Because I don't think
I hired Miss Betty back.
Okay.
She's back. She's taking care of him. She put him to sleep. He's got his baba and all that stuff, you know.
Okay. So Sir X-Man might be officially out. You know what I'm saying? So
he's out.
Warm graham crackers and milk.
His graham crackers and milk. I told her, I said, you better give him extra graham crackers and extra milk this time, okay?
He like it warm. He's not as like Don likes the finest of Cambodian yak tit
right
milk, but you know what I'm saying, Sir X-Men will take any type of teat milk.
He'll take the teat from the cow, man. That's Sir X-Man.
Yeah, he'll take it from the dog. It doesn't matter as long as it's warm and gentle on the stomach. Anyway, shout out to my brothers. Man.
Oh sure, man.
Yummy, man. I really do appreciate it, man. The super chats work, man. Go ahead and show that support. I really do appreciate it. Kicking off the new year. Yes, he also says the time steps after the show, man. I really do appreciate that, man. You do not understand how much I do appreciate that. So thank you, Yobi, so much, man. And then he also says, I love you, brother, man. I love you too, man. We really do appreciate you, man. Here, we really, really, really. But let's get on to it. Viper, what's going on with you, man? I think we was having some great conversations before we started the show, and I think we might roll one of them conversations in. If we like we are tonight, I think we might go ahead and we might throw that little that little Hogwarts conversation into the.
No, please don't, because No.
I kind of want to get into it because it was spicy, so I don't mind.
Well, if Viper don't get into it, you and me can get into it.
Right.
You know?
Stay out to the side because I do want
to. He can stay in the shadows and you know.
Yeah.
Be in the background. It's fine.
Here's my thing. I don't care if people want to cancel me or not based on my views.
Oh my God! See, listen.
We just started a can of worms, man.
You're doing the intro. You're not getting into. I've just said we might talk about it here, and you over here ready to get started on.
I know he's already starting.
I'm not ready to get started. No, I'm not.
Yeah. All right, look at it. Jesus Christ! All right.
Anyway, what's your question?
I was like, hey, it's your intro. What's going on? How you been? What's popping, bro?
I've been working. Finally, today was a day off. Yeah, so I just basically stayed in bed all day. Just was playing on the Xbox, just chilling, relaxing. That's it.
All right. Okay. Dark.
What's
up?
You
know what I'm saying? After saying, just racist rhetoric.
Was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But I just wanted to throw it out there.
I mean, I guess I gotta believe that it was then now.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. Getting ready to cancel you here on GRG. Let's go. Anyway.
Oh man.
Man, if I ain't canceled some of the people that we've had on this show, then you are fine. Trust me. Man,
right.
Some of the stuff that's been said throughout the years, anyway. And some of it comes from me, so regardless, it's all fun. But anyway, how you been? What's been going on?
Yeah, man,
what's up?
I've been good, man. You know, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on some stuff, some projects in here and there and stuff. So keeping busy as much as possible. I realized how much I didn't like that job, as after I was gone from it. So that's good.
That, yeah.
I realized that. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I dodged a bullet. Let's just say that. But yeah, man, it was it's been a pretty good year so far. We've haven't had too much craziness going on yet. Some things here and there, but I think some of that stuff started before 2023. But hopefully, hopefully this year continues. I know we're only in January, but hopefully we can pull through the storm,
Oh yeah, no doubt. We'll see, because we'll be talking about the situation going on with Microsoft and also within the gaming industry and tech industry, which I think a lot of people have kind of jumped on board the wrong train, I would say. But
Yeah.
anyway, what you guys been playing? Viper, I'll start with you. What games you been playing here lately?
I'm trying to finish up the last achievement for High on Life. That's kind of difficult trying to unlock the message boards. My God, every time you think you unlock one thing, it says, "Oh no, you got to do more." I'm like, "What? Come on now." So been playing that. I actually started playing something called Donut County. That was actually recommended in High on Life because the gun started talking about it, and I was like, okay, let me try this game out. So it's that game where it's a giant hole in the ground, and you just try to suck everything into that hole. So yeah, interesting game. It's also on Game Pass. And we got some games that just released yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We got Monster Hunter Rise. We got Persona 3 and Persona 4. So I'm about to jump into those as well.
Sir, yes, sir. Indeed.
Now I have a question for you. Did
Yeah.
you like Persona 5?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
No, Viper.
Oh,
Not
okay.
you, K Mega. You're just the host, okay? I want to hear from Viper.
You enjoyed
Dang.
What I'm gonna do with the Personas, I'm actually gonna start with 3 because I like the opening of 5. No, hold on, just hold on.
What are you
I like
talking
the
about, man?
opening of 5, and then I went even further and I said, okay, let me kind of hold it for 5 and then go into 3 and start with that one.
You do know that those stories aren't connected at all, right?
It might be.
No,
They're not.
They're not.
They're not
they're
connected.
not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can start with any one, but yeah, I mean, start with Persona 3 is good. Yeah, I think Persona 4 is probably the best one, but
Yeah.
I still like 5. I think 5 is really good, but yeah, Persona 4 I think was a better game in terms of just the way that the characters were. Because in 5 I think there were some characters that you liked, but then there was characters that you were just kind of annoyed with. So 4 kind of brings those characters that you're just like, wow, like you can kind of relate to them in a way. But yeah, I think you're gonna have a good time, man, if you like those kind of games.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do like some JRPGs. Not all of them, some of them, but yeah, I do like the Personas based off of Persona 5. So I mean, I will end up buying them later on once I get that Game Pass discount when it pops up. Because right now it's still at its normal price of $20 for each game. So
Oh yeah, that it'll probably go to like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be a Game Pass Game Pass sale here in the next couple of
yeah,
months.
and that's what I do. I'm cheap like that. So anyway.
All right. What about you,
But-
Dark? What you been playing?
I don't think he was done yet. He said,
Oh,
but
No.
well, I want to kind of get started
okay.
because if we
Okay,
gotta,
you got to
if
get
we
it going.
add
Got to
another
get it
topic-
going. All right.
Yeah, because we got another time. Because remember, like I said,
That's
3
true.
hours or less, we ain't doing
That's
anymore.
true.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I gotta, I appreciate that, but we got to keep it moving. So what about you? What you been playing?
I actually finished Resident Evil 2 and 3, getting geared up for Resident Evil 4 remake, and then I played been playing Ratchet and Clank again, the Rift Apart. I just felt like playing it again. Yeah, then I played Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Finished those. Gearing up for Spider-Man 2. So yeah, man. I mean, I've just been playing old stuff for right now until we get this new stuff that's coming soon. Hopefully,
Spider-Man ain't gonna be coming out until probably September.
that's fine. That's okay. Because I know that because I'm looking at the calendar right now. I'm looking at the games that are coming, and June's gonna be packed. May's gonna be packed. I mean, especially if June is what it's gonna be with Final Fantasy 16, I'm gonna be busy playing that probably for a couple months. So, I just wanted to get those out of the way, so then I'm geared up for them for when for when the sequels come out. And I also played Jedi Fallen Order as well.
Was that your first time playing it?
No, I played it several times before that. I like I'm kind of one of those people that just like, if I really like your game or if I really like it, I'll go back and I'll play it again. You know, like I'll go back and I'll play it several times. I mean, I've played Spider-Man. I don't even want to say how many times I played that game. It's a lot. But yeah, I wanted to kind of get a refresher. You know, like I know I can go online and find videos of, you know, getting a refresher and stuff like that, but it feels so much better when you play it again and you kind of go through that experience again. So that's what I did. And I was just like, you know, I want to kind of, you know, get geared up for those sequels that are coming soon. Which
Gotcha.
I think what Jedi's Fallen Jedi Survivor's coming out. What
March or
the
April.
end?
Yeah, well, I think
Is
it's
March?
coming out here. Yeah, first quarter. So
Beginning
I
of
know
March,
that.
I think, right? Or
Yeah,
something like that, or March. Yeah. Or the
So,
middle of March, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
it's coming quick. So I mean, that's why I was like, okay, I better, you know, kind of get through that. And then I was like, well, Resident Evil is also coming in like April, so I'm like, shit, I gotta go through that again. Even though I know that the stories aren't like as super connected as the, you know, the Resident, you know, as some of the other games out there, but
Mhm.
they are pretty, you know, they're pretty connected, to be honest. Um, but yeah, man, that's all I've been playing.
Okay. All right. Cool. As
Old
for me,
shit.
yeah. I've been on Witcher. I've and I was kind of like what you was talking about, like this second time around. I'm taking my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was just telling you that, like, I did all the other DLCs except for the Heart of Stone, and I'm right at and I'm like I guess the end, close to the end of
Mm-hmm.
it, and I was just like, whoa, why didn't I play this? But I remembered, like, there was the gap between when I first started playing The Witcher 3 and then when they said they was going to do the update. I waited for the update. That didn't come until like almost 2 years later. And then when I jumped back on it, I was kind of in a hurry. So there was a lot of things that I missed. So I've been just methodical, taking my time. I've done all the Witcher the contracts. All the contracts are done.
Oh yeah, I finished those. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done all the races. I've done all. I think I only got just maybe a few more Gwent things to get, because I still need to go to Camoran or whatever that out there where the Witchers live, to go get that from Lambert. Yeah, Caramoran. Yeah. And then when I get those all those diagrams, that's all that I got left out of the diagrams for is the ones on Caramoran. So then that'll be done. And then in the side missions, I only have like 3 side missions left, and I only got just 3 missions of the main mission. So I've been taking my time methodically, just going through it. And so when I get done with the Heart of Stone, I'll probably do once I beat the game, I'll probably do the last the last big DLC, because I did that one before, one with the vampire. So so yeah, no, I've been really enjoying it. So I won't, and what's really crazy is that I will be done with the game in record time compared to what I did the last time. So I mean, I'll probably be like 300 hours in, and the last time I was like 500, 600, 700 hours into it. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that I cut time in half. So it's pretty.
That's the thing, right? Like it's one of those games where it's just like so much content that you almost forget everything that goes on in that game. Right?
I did.
But then it also, you know, on the next gen consoles, it looks gorgeous, right?
Absolutely,
like, it looks good, man. Like
great.
They did a good job. The characters look about the same, but the environments are like so much more graphically detailed.
Yeah,
you know,
it's great. My last part that I wanted to say is, like, I missed an area, and I didn't miss an area. It was one area where I seen them, and I said, oh, I ain't fucking with that. I ain't going over there. And it was where the spiders were, not the And I forgot that they had real actual spiders in the game.
Yeah.
And so I was over here like, okay, let me beat all this stuff over here to get to this area right here so I clean up these monster pits and everything. And man, I thought when I seen them spiders and I fought them and I was like, okay, nah, when I see them, I'm out. I go into a cave and it's about 30 of them. Man, I was freaking out the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't want it. I was, man. But I got out of there. That was rough. Because the way them things move and then them really big ones that jump at you. Oh my God. Anyway, whatever.
What's the difficulty you playing on?
Blood and Wine is the one right before Death March.
Okay, so the Sword and Stone, I think it is.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I was because I was just like,
which is a great difficulty to play on because it's hard, but it's not hard to the extent to where you're like, what the fuck, you know?
Right? Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like I just want to enjoy it. I don't ever play on easy. Now I think lately I've played a couple of games on normal. What was the last game I played on normal? I think it was like the storied game that won awards for Xbox. I played that one on normal. I can't think of the name of it right now. I really did like it. But anyway, yeah, that was that game I played on normal, and there was another game I played on normal. But Persona 5, I played that on its hardest difficult. So, you know, and got through it. So I was good. But anyway, I'm over here talking about Viper being long. I'm over here being long with it. So let's get on to it. Let's talk about our very first topic.
He's falling asleep over here.
I know. Well, he said he had to restart. He said he had to restart his. I was waiting for him to come back, but that was pretty quick. So because I didn't see him drop. Let's talk about Forspoken. Now, before I jump on to Forspoken, I want to let one of the gaming community's gamers out here show us this gameplay, and I'm just gonna let it ride while we talk about it because I'm gonna one of my favorite memes out there is where it shows somebody holding this other person back saying let them cook. So I'm just gonna let people see this gameplay and just going on a loop, let it just ride. So let people just get a feel of it while we talk about Forspoken. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go to the fact check web right here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll be back here I messed up. I didn't mean to hit that button, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Right here. Okay, so our boy right here, Kevin Hart. I mean, not Kevin Hart. Mr. Hart, as he calls himself. Chris Hart. He tells us the PlayStation 5 Forspoken demo for real, Forspoken gameplay. Time to expose the frauds. Some frauds. Okay, so expose us. So I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna let it cook while we talk about it, right? All right, so there we go. Let's look at that gameplay. Let's look at that juicy gameplay, and we're gonna just keep that on repeat. We're just gonna let that just ride. Let's let it go. All right, so.
Okay, so you switched it over. Okay.
Yeah. So you see it. All right.
I think it's slow behind. I think the YouTube's behind right now.
Oh yeah. YouTube is a little behind. Yeah. So it always does a delay. But anyway, we see it. So I'm not understanding why our man is running back and then going back again. Like I don't understand what that is. I don't know. So he's whacking them. The enemy is not even swinging yet. Now, okay, now they're swinging. But they're like, well, why are you running so far away? Come on back here. Let me swing. I would like to see the enemy's attack. So, okay, well, and then he runs back again. Anyway, so like I said, let's let him cook. The reason why we're going to talk about Forspoken is not because, are you guys hype about it or whatever? Please let me know. But I'm going to go to you first, Dark. It has been pretty odd because this game is marketed by Sony. It is an exclusive on Sony PlayStation and on PC. But there's no review copies out. And usually people already have the review copies. The Skill Up, he posted something. There was other people that posted something and posted stuff that's saying, look, we don't have a review copy. Is it that Sony and maybe Square are thinking that it's probably the best decision not to have review copies out yet because they might feel like because of the demo it got so much bad press, that they feel like there will be more bad press and they'll just let the game just ride and have people just go and get the game off of assumption only. What is your thoughts about that?
For me personally, I played the demo and I had my thoughts about it, which were not very good. It's just a lot of, and I'm not saying that to each their own what they want to play, right? But it's not something that I would be like, oh yeah, that's a game I have to play, right? It's not one of those. It's one of those like, oh yeah, if I have the time to play it, I'll play it, right? Or if it gets somewhat decent reviews from people that I trust, then I'll give it a shot, or I'll look at it. It's just it doesn't have this oomph behind it, right?
Right.
Like some other games, like like people are super hyped for Final Fantasy 16, right? That's coming. And that's one of Square Enix's probably biggest games of all time, right? I mean, like Final Fantasies, you could say probably Final Fantasy and maybe even Dragon Quest is probably their biggest games, right? Of all time. And they just keep making them. So people are super excited for those, but like this, people are just kind of like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to save judgment, like a real hard judgment for it until it comes out. If it comes out and it's good and people are enjoying it and they're having fun and stuff like that, maybe I'll pick it up and check it out, but not at $70, right? Like I'm not gonna pay $70 for this game. It just from what I played of the demo, it just there's a lot of there's just a lot of things that I just was just like, why do I have to do that in order to do this, right? Or why do I have to go here in order to get to this certain point, right? Just give me the option to just do whatever I want to do, right? And it seems like they were gonna go for that, but then they dialed it back. It's just a weird way of them creating this game. I'm watching this gameplay right now. I'm just so
Let him
like,
cook. Let's
I
let Christopher Hart cook, baby. Because what
do
he
I
said,
need do I
let's see what he said, man. He says a real Forspoken gameplay. Time to expose some frauds. Let that boy cook, baby. Let him cook.
Well, I mean, he's cooking all right.
Look at
He's
that.
definitely cooking.
He cooking. That boy cooking. I'm holding him back. We showing that Christopher Hart what he does, how he plays on PlayStation, bro.
I'm just saying, this is not how I play, like at all. Period. Right? Like,
for some strange reason, this looks like their take on the Souls game.
kind of, but it's not. Like they some of the characters kind of go into that, like looking realm, like the way that some of the enemies look, some of it. But for the most part, it's more of like an action RPG type of game, right?
Yeah.
The wrist thing that you have is kind of annoying because he's always talking to you and he's always saying something to you, and it's kind of annoying. Which is another thing I had with High on Life, like things talking to me while I'm in a game, like even like the characters when they're fighting, like that was the one big thing about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that I didn't like,
Or
was
what
when the
about God of
characters were
War?
just, or God of
Exactly.
War.
I was about to say
Even
that.
God of War.
Yeah.
Like no, even God of
me a couple of times.
well, no, it wasn't just God of War, but it was even God of War Ragnarok, where
Oh, really?
characters were telling people like we're telling you like exactly where these certain things are. It's just like don't do that. Don't hold my hand. I want to be able to play the game and discover these things. Like if I really want to discover this stuff, I should be able to discover it. I should be able to not have somebody in my ear saying, "Oh, oh, you're on fire, brother.
Right. Get out
I
of
know
there.
I'm on fire.
Right.
I know I'm on fire, dude. Like, I know these things. Like, don't be telling me like, or you need to go over there. You know, like, okay,
So
I
you-
know
so
that I
you
need to go.
agree- You agree with Neil Druckmann's new, move that he wants to do, huh?
What new move? I didn't hear anything about that.
Well, let's go and let's deal with that later.
Okay. All right. But
Well,
yeah,
you
I
can't
just.
bring that up and then say,
I know.
What
I
did
know.
he say? Like,
What did he say?
All
Like,
right.
like
So he
bring it up.
basically praised Elden Ring for not holding the player's hand, and so he wants to move in a new direction with his games.
Oh,
So
okay, I did read that. Yeah.
You might see Uncharted or Last of Us head into that direction of we're not going to hold your hand anymore.
Right. And I like that. I like that. That's the one thing about Elden Ring that I liked. It was not holding your hand, right?
No, he did not.
The one thing the things that I didn't like about Elden Ring were just it was just too big, man. It's just too big of a game.
Just give me. I'm new to your franchise. Let me know something.
Right. If you're new to it and you
yeah.
don't know anything, yes, definitely, give us like a little tutorial at the beginning, but then throw us to the den of wolves, and when the game
like
comes.
I was in areas and I was like, what the fuck was that? What am I doing? I didn't know what's going on. So
right, exactly. And I think right now it's just getting out of hand with games, people being hand-holded with games and stuff. I think it's just people are just so used to it that it was just like when Elden Ring came out, it was kind of a refresher for a lot of people because they don't play Souls games. A lot of people who like that game never played a Souls game.
Right.
And then when they played it, they were just like, it was just on a different type of level, right? So it did do some good things with gaming, I think, when it comes to like non-hand holding type of stuff, which is good because this game, Forspoken, is definitely hand holded kind of stuff because he does the your wrist thing kind of says like go over here, I think there's something over there in the corner, and it's just like okay,
people in the chat, I hear is that Ice Cold? No, that was Kermit. He says this gameplay looks horrible. He says please make it stop, I beg you. So people, if you don't want me to show our boy saying, exposing us frauds, he says it's time for him to, some real gameplay. He's going to expose some frauds.
I think he exposed himself, to be honest.
If you guys want me to let him keep cooking while we talking about Forspoken, Ham, I see you up in here. How you doing, brother? You sounded like you just woke up.
No, I didn't just wake up at all. I was just extremely frustrated.
Oh, okay. Well, hemorrhoids can do that.
Oh shit!
I mean, I don't know what your experience has to do with this, but
well, I don't know because it sounds pretty. It sounds pretty. You're pretty annoyed, so I'm just gonna leave that alone.
I've been trying since 7:45 to get in here.
Oh,
dang!
And I was at work, so I was gonna start off, on my phone.
Yeah.
But check this out. Earlier today, I had to sign out of my Discord and sign into my wife's Discord because while I was while I was doing bullshitting today with Low Cozy and Cult Classic Cage, I was simultaneously at the Gamers Initiative doing a podcast over there. Same exact time.
God.
So when I logged out of my wife's Discord on my phone, and I went back to log into mine, it was acting like my password wasn't right. So I went on ahead and hit the forgot password button, changed the password, and then for some reason it tried to tell me that I needed a new email. So I used an old email that I used to use. And then I tried to log into that old email, and that email is no longer an email anymore.
Dang.
What?
I got home, signed in with the same stuff I signed in on my phone, and it worked. It just worked. And I was just like, what's the difference? So like, I'm irritated because I didn't do anything wrong, and Discord just gave me a runaround for literally an hour.
Was it like a two-step authentication factor thing, or?
Oh, they had a million things they were trying to do. Two-step this, different email that, passwords similar to the other one, yada yada yada, just
Give me
all
one of
this
your
stuff.
kids.
And I'm just like, hey, right? You want me to sacrifice my firstborn or something while I'm at it? Like it was just ridiculous. But you know what? Like, I'm gonna take that energy and stuff it down deep for another topic that K-Meg is going to bring up here later, because I'm sure I'm going to need that frustration for something. So I'm not going to throw that frustration away. Okay. I'm just going to hold it in and wait for K-Mega to piss me off, because I know it's going to happen at some point during this episode today.
Let's go, because you know I'm going to do it. You know I'm going to do it. So, all right.
He's an Xbox troll.
What?
I've known him for years. It's true. Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
What? Be an Xbox troll? How dare you? Anyway, how can I be an Xbox troll when I'm letting our brother, our gaming brother, Christopher Hart, let him cook, man? Let him show his gameplay, this Forspoken gameplay. Like,
man, they need to let that cook.
I'm letting it cook, man. I'm letting it cook.
I mean, I think
the optimization needs to cook.
Right. Oh, Lord, okay, so look. Listen,
that goes to show you that they didn't do anything with the game, right?
Well, first of all, let's go ahead and call it what it is. It's the Luminous engine, and that engine sucked for Final Fantasy 15, and it sucks for this game too. So
I thought Final Fantasy 15 looked pretty optimized.
It looks good
for a console, not for PC.
Yeah, not for
PC. Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I didn't play it on PC. Okay. So
and on top of it, the care of Square Enix is, not very much like your great grandmammy. They're very dirty uncle from jail with it.
Oh my God, Farscape is messy. He said let him cook some more, so I'm letting him cook some more, and then we'll go to him. We'll just go back to the original gameplay. But Dark, did you have anything else that you wanted to say before I move on to Viper?
No, man. Yeah,
exclusive.
It's just definitely not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a game that people are gonna gravitate towards.
You don't think it's gonna hit? Okay.
No, I don't think it's gonna hit.
And that's why you think that Sony and Square decided not to give review copies out?
Possibly. I mean, yeah. I think they've kind of. They're kind of like a dog between, dog with his tail between his legs, just kind of like, oh, I don't, especially with that demo. They knew what they were doing with that demo, and then it definitely, I mean, look at this gameplay. I mean, it goes to show you, so the thing isn't even attacking him at all. It's not even
the AI, but this is an exploit. Like somebody I read.
Is it an exploit, or is it just the way that the AI should?
That's gotta be an exploit.
I mean, the AI should be following, right? Like the AI
it did attempt, and it was like, nah, because it's got a long dress.
But then he like goes way too far back, and it's like,
it's an exploit,
this is how you play games.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let our brother cook. He said he's going to expose the frauds with this beautiful gameplay.
I mean, I think he's the only one that's getting exposed on this one.
Let him cook. That's what I said. Just let him cook. All right. So
the HDR looks really bad.
Okay.
I turn HDR off on a lot of stuff now because it just looks bad on most games. Unless it's like an actual exclusive to a certain console or whatever. It doesn't look good. Like on a lot of
looks washed out.
It looks washed out.
What? Yeah. My HDR looks.
It just depends. It does depend on the game though too.
Okay.
It really does.
Are you talking about on this game, K-Mega?
I have not played it. I have not played the demo. I have not.
We're talking about this game. What are you talking about?
Well, no, because he said that. Because Dark said that he turned.
Most HDR.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, most HDR.
Yeah. Point on that. All right, so Viper, your thoughts? Do you think that this is one of the reasons why? Because the demo didn't get a lot of good press, and so maybe Sony and Square Enix decided to just not put out the copies the early copies so people could give their reviews early?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that they knew that this game was not in the best of shapes.
Mm.
They also knew that with the name of the game, people were kind of clowning on it too. So they were like, oh, this is a new IP, and we kind of screwed up the name. We also screwed up the gameplay. We showed this much of it, and people are not liking it. And so, yeah, they're being kind of hesitant. And then, of course, with the news that came out with the PC requirements for it, a lot of people are really not happy with that. And so, yeah, they're basically trying to
that
say,
was
okay,
crazy, dude.
yeah, the PC requirements are horrible. The fact that it's running at 720p 30 with the lowest GPU you possibly can have. And then in order for you to get 4K 60, it's not even 4K 120, 4K 60, you need a 4080. Yeah, that ain't good. Even on PS5, it's running at 900p, possibly 60 frames, but it's gonna drop a lot. So yeah, they already know that people are not liking this, so they're trying to have only the people who give Sony good reviews to review the game, and the people who are more critical, they are letting them, go buy the game themselves. So this is going to be like a Survivor type thing where it's like, no, we don't trust you guys to give us good reviews, so we're gonna, you go ahead and buy the game, and then you can review it then.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop disrespecting. We let this man cook enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and show. I'm gonna show some other gameplay.
Yeah, because that was brutal, man. That was I might have to have a talk with him.
Okay, we're gonna let.
Yeah, talk to your PlayStation brethren.
Yeah, we're just gonna let that ride. So, okay, let some people see something else, because yeah, this was.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your audience, man.
Yeah. No, let me just show something else. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But anyway, all right. While we talk about it, okay. So
yeah, that gameplay was horrible.
Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted to, because I think I wanted to let Christopher Hart cook, because he talked about how we don't really get some gameplay from brother, so we had some, and I just let it happen.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to be mean. It's not his gameplay that's horrible. It's just that game looks horrible.
I don't think it looks horrible. I just think that it. But see, like I said, I have not got a chance to play it. From the things that I've looked and I've watched, I can play this game. I don't come into it looking like that this is going to be the next coming of a Final Fantasy title or a majorly huge franchise. I take it for what it is. But as usual with
not a $70 game, but
yeah, but it's not a $70 game.
Exactly,
it's not a $70 game. And what I fear is that Square and Sony is really going to try to force their hand on gamers, because I was planning on getting it on PC and trying to hold on to that price point as long as they possibly can. And I feel the game is going to suffer immensely from it. So I don't know. What do you think, Ham Solo? I mean, do you agree with Viper and for what you've heard from Dark? I mean, is this what's going on here? Why is it that this game is just not resonating with a lot of gamers, and why they did not give review copies? Because that is just unlike Sony, because especially when they have the marketing to a title.
I feel like they did it to themselves, more or less, with, and I used this comparison earlier, very much like Callisto Protocol. You can do all the cool stuff beforehand, get everybody hyped up, but you got to stick the landing. You got to stick the landing. And in my opinion, they had a few moments where they tried to land. It was like, they were supposed to land last year, and then oh man, that footage that they showed was rough.
Yeah.
Like early last year. And then they were supposed to land in November. God of War said, "Excuse me." And then now they're supposed to land in January after have giving a bunch of people refunds on their pre-order for this game. So you may have had people on the line ready to get this. In fact, I had a buddy, Matt Likes Games. He had this pre-order. They sent him his money back. What happened when they sent him his money back? He played the demo and he's like, I'm not giving y'all my money again.
Ooh.
Oof.
So y'all had money in the pocket from people. You delayed it multiple times. It comes out or gets ready to come out. It's it looks rough in the demo. And then on top of that, you come out with the PC specs, which don't make any damn sense in my opinion. I know some people want to argue, oh, it makes sense. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a great looking game. It's quality and it's open world. Sense? And I'm like, sit your ass down.
Who said that?
Death Stranding. Death Stranding. No. Pause. Death Stranding is an open world game. Mm-hmm. Lots of crap going on within the world. I had it running 1440p on my PC, pretty much max settings, if not completely max settings, on my 3080, and I'm getting 150 frames a second. How badly do you have to optimize something and then clearly not care about it? We know that Square Enix, if they didn't have to, they wouldn't make anything PC, in my opinion. If they didn't have to, they wouldn't.
Remember, this is the Luminous engine. It's the Luminous engine. That's the problem.
Sure. But on top of it, remember, like, it's just the way that they're going about it that seems like they don't really care so much about some, but care about others. And I want to say, in my opinion, I think if Square Enix ain't like messing with PlayStation firsthand, and or actually, let me rephrase this. Square Enix cares about making sure they get a quality product out to PlayStation. Everybody else feels like, second fiddle.
Yeah.
Or whatnot.
Right.
That's the way I think about it with that. But like I said earlier, the main reason, in my opinion, about Square Enix and the way they look right now and Forspoken and how that's, coming out, I think they just really missed the landing. And it shows. It shows. It seems like, everyone says Square Enix is like a big dog, right? Well, this big dog this time is scared to bite. That's what it looks like. It looks like this big dog. Yeah. This big dog said, by the way, I ain't hungry anymore. I ain't hungry. I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. I mean, outside looks a little dangerous right now. I don't really want to give these people these review copies because if I give them these review copies in some prominent people stand up against it right before launch, we're in trouble.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Facts.
Woo! Well, okay.
Yeah, I would be absolutely surprised if this game got great reviews, to be honest.
No, this is going to be in the 60s or 70s.
Oh,
I think it's going to be a 79 because people that because people that do get these review copies are gonna the people that do get the review copies are gonna be the ones that are just gonna give it 100.
Of course, yeah, because they don't want to get banned.
Well, okay, this is the thing, right? They don't want to get banned. And Kermit, he's over here being messy, but I find that to be very funny because he says PC specs has to be that high because it doesn't have that magically SSD. Well, the point of it is like
speaking of SSD, 150 gigs.
Gigabytes, yeah.
of SSD room.
Right.
Where the hell are you going in this game? Geez, that's bigger than Assassin's Creed.
Bro,
don't forget, if you want the ultra
Yeah.
specs, you do have to have an NVMe SSD. So
Yeah.
that little statement that he said about the SSD,
He
they
was
don't have a
joking.
powerful one.
He was over there throwing shade. But
No,
Call of Duty's fat ass
fanboy.
looked over and said, "Man, you a big fella."
Right. Hey, oh, you a bigot over there. You ain't lying. Oh, my
What
God.
up, girl? Goddamn, you got a fatty.
You a big old. What that Buffalo Bill say? A big old girl over there. Yeah. Now, listen. I mean.
Oh damn!
That's nutty. I mean that's nutty. And it, just like when you was bringing up the point about Death Stranding, I got Death Stranding hitting at 1440p, 60 frames per second, mostly max settings, and it makes this look like, I don't know, it makes this look average, below average. Death Stranding is optimized fantastically. So
Reason I use Death Stranding is because that's a
point.
that's a PlayStation published game, or not published. But wait, is it?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
PlayStation published game.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
PC,
seem
it's
like I was
level
being
5 game.
super biased by saying Doom or anything like that. I wanted to use an open world game
Right.
that PlayStation has, put their stamp on and whatnot, and say, "Yo, y'all did this fine. I know this. I know Square Enix, your boy, but you need to go talk to your boy because they messing stuff up. It don't look as good as many games that you've had. I mean, goodness gracious. Let's get real.
But don't forget they were focusing on NFTs. So
That is true.
But-
I mean, that's what they've been focusing on
That
for a
is
while
true.
now. And
That's true.
Horizon Zero Dawn, in my opinion, looks better than this
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
on the
Horizon is-
PC.
Zero
Zero Dawn,
Zero
not
Dawn,
Forbidden West. Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Oh, Days Gone looks
shoot,
better than this.
Forspoken looks worse than Horizon Zero Dawn did on the PS4.
Right.
Ooh.
It dipped. That game Forspoken dips between 720p and 900p
That's
a lot.
That's
It
bad.
does. It does that quite a bit.
That's bad.
There was moments in that game when I was playing the demo. I mean, I know that they've optimized it. I know that they've done certain things to make it look better and stuff like that. But when I was playing the demo, it was looking a little shaky there for a minute. I was all like, man, I don't know about this game.
And yet they want to spend $550 on a next gen console and only get 720p, 30 frames.
Yeah. For that game, but not
Yeah.
every game. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not every game, but it's one game too many, right? Like,
Right.
it's just-
Mhm.
you just can't do that.
Better. Last
Especially-
of Us 2 looks better.
Yeah, you just can't do that stuff with.
Oh,
with
they
that
being
type of-
childish, being disrespectful.
What
All
is that?
right, but let me say something respectful, like just to kind of turn things around just a little bit. The
Mhm.
game, it looks fun. I played a little bit of it.
It looks fun.
It can be fun at its moments. I don't really like so much the changing of the magic, how slow that kind of feels sometimes.
yeah, it's
but
so slow, dude.
but like the traversal is okay. I wish you could lift yourself up. I don't understand why she only uses her feet. She can't use her arms to pull herself up at all, which is kind of whack.
Later on in the game.
I mean, what kind of skill tree is this if you can't use your arms until later?
Yeah, that would be stupid. Like, that would be.
Do you think that they might have a foot fetish? That's why they use the feet.
Oh, come on. RG, you the nastiest
But,
brother.
but, but
in
it's
the
also
podcast.
you know what's even more crazy is that people are like, it's even more crazy is that people are sitting here saying, well, you don't like this game because it has a female protagonist, and it's like, no, that's not true at all. That
Don't
is
forget
not
she's a
true at all.
black female.
Black
why,
female protagonist,
that's why
whatever.
I hope the game
That's
does
not the
well,
case.
is because, but I knew the
Right.
game in a sense was already in
That's
a
not
bad
the case.
state.
It's just the game is just a fucking bad game. That's all it is. It's like,
Yeah, it is
it's
a
just-
bad game.
Right, and then like when the the director or of the game sit there and said, "This is why we wanted to get this actress because she was real hip hoppity." I'm like, what?
Oh
What?
shit.
Yeah, so
Oh shit.
She was real hip hoppity.
yeah,
Oh
like,
man.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
you know,
shit.
but we picked her because she's a great actress, and we wanted this game to be different because this actress can make the game, and when she's hopping around, she's very hip hoppity, and it's got a swagger to it. I'm like, oh my god! And so when I looked at the picture, because it was in an article when I read it, and when I looked at the picture and I seen the man, I said, yo, so yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's kind of a sad situation because I think that the actress who plays that character has had a kind of a rough time right now with you know Resident Evil not doing so well and some other things that she's been in that haven't really turned out well for her. This is just another thing that's gonna
Wait,
probably
what
dampen her career.
this
The Resident Evil TV show.
Yeah, she did a Resident Evil
Oh,
TV show
okay, of course,
on Netflix.
Oh,
She did the one on Netflix, yeah, and
really pretty girl.
it didn't work out very well. I mean, the show was just so
Okay,
like,
here's the thing. She's a good actress, but I think
She is,
she's
yeah.
just getting bad roles. That's
She
the
is.
problem.
Or she's taking roles that here's the thing with a lot of actors, they just take roles just because. Sometimes a lot of actors just take roles just because. The thing is what she's got to work on is she's probably never going to see this, but the one thing that she's got to work on is just taking roles that she feels is the right fit for her and
Mhm.
the roles that are like that she really wants to do, right? You just don't just take anything because you want to be
Well, okay. I gotta
in
push back
film or
on that.
whatever.
I gotta push back on that. Okay, for one thing, okay, when you talk about Square Enix, the makers of Final Fantasy, and this game is going to be kind of like in the same vein of a Final Fantasy. You could actually, I would, if they came to any of us and says, "Would you like to act that role? Would you be?" We would all, I think, we would all say, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, we would all say it, right? We would
Yeah.
all be okay with it, but that's the thing. Like, that's I think as like maybe like if it's your first thing, yes, you can kind of get away with that. But once you start getting in more and more roles, it's best to kind of pick and choose what you want to do because at the end of the day, it could ruin your career. It can. People will look at you and be like, look at Summer Glau, right? Who did she did the Terminator Sarah Chronicles, and then she did Firefly, she did all these shows, all these things that just tanked in a way, and you don't really hear much about her anymore. I just don't. I don't like it when that happens to actors and actresses because it doesn't mean that they're bad. It doesn't mean that those people in those roles did a bad job. It's the direction of the shows and the movies that drive it to that.
Well, let's be honest. It's the writers.
All right.
If you
Right.
cannot write a proper screenplay, if you
Yeah.
cannot come up with a good
But sometimes
story,
it's not the writers, though. A lot of times it's not the writers because a lot of times the writers do a really good job with the story, but then the editing from the studio steps in and completely changes it, or the producers come in and they try to change things. That's why the same thing with Hellboy, like Hellboy, the one with what's his name, David Hubber, he did that movie, right? And
Mhm.
he was definitely good for that role. Definitely, like he could definitely play Hellboy. But the thing of the matter is that the producers were so involved in the movie and telling the director what to do, when to do it, and all that the movie wasn't good. The movie failed at and of course the director's not going to just quit just because you know they don't want that reputation of quitting. You know, they don't want that reputation of giving up on something because it just didn't work out or whatever.
Right.
So it's just it's so many other factors than just writing, because a lot of times it's not even the writing, man. It's a lot of just people having their own influences in it and ruining the magic of what the writing was really trying to purvey.
Well,
So let me say another thing of storytelling, because it's not only the writers.
Do you guys see what I just posted? Just to make sure that the people in the chat see I wasn't making it up or lying. When you have a dev or director or a person that's in charge of this, and they say this, Forspoken dev comes under fire for saying black protagonists have a hip hoppity walk. I told you I wasn't lying.
That's something.
And I knew Just okay. Continue. What you gonna say? Gonna say Viper?
No, I was about to say that it's not just the writer or the writers, but remember the storytelling happens with the director. It happens with the editor. Yeah, sometimes the producers or executive producers get involved, but they're also the storytellers as well. But everything has to be a cohesive unit. So if everybody can come together and then make sure that this thing flows properly, you'll have a hit. But then when everybody puts their 2 cents in and it does not gel together, you're gonna have a shit. So the fact is, we're looking at it right now that Forspoken, or Forbroken, as Loke would say, this is going to flop hard. I think this is going to flop hard.
It could. I think the reason why it would definitely flop. See, and this is another thing too, right? Because I mean, this is one of our topics that we're going to try to get to was Callisto Protocol, because that was what we was going to talk about last week. But that $70 price tag, and I know that there's some people that really want to try to avoid that, but that $70 price tag for a brand new title, that's scary to a lot of people. Now, when you got Resident Evil 4 remake coming out, well, they've played Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 7, they feel trusted. Okay, I can pay the $70 for that. Right. But when you look at
that's how I feel with that game.
Right. Like, so some people will be like, oh, I'll pay the $70 for that. If there's another Gears, another Halo or whatever, which we'll be getting here in the Halo 7. So maybe some people might be a little skeptical about that, but we'll see. But the thing of it with this is that when you got a new title, you got to help it out the best way possible. Saying that because, and this is what we were talking about with the stuff with what you were saying with Hollywood and certain people that wants to try to be in the know. Now, this wasn't a Japanese developer that said this. The director was an American older white man who said this. Because you know what I'm saying,
sounds about right.
Right. So it sounds about right. So and I think because they want to promote the fact that this is the very first African American woman, and actually I think American period, that's going to be into the Square Enix ethos. And I think that that's a big deal. That's why I was all in support for the game. Like, I'm like, yeah, I want to support it because of that reason. But when you add this type of crazy stuff, hip hoppity walk, that ain't going to sit there and get, Ham, is that getting you hyped to want to play the game? Viper.
It's just not a good marketing tactic.
Viper, are you hyped? All my people are coming that's in here in the chat.
I'm telling you right now, it's getting me more hyped because he said what he said than what I was before.
Bro. I mean, no disrespect, but it's like, like, what kind of like. Are you targeting white people with this? Like, what's happening here?
Who's your demographic that you're trying to target? Right? Like,
I mean, this is definitely for like Susie the soccer mom. You know what I'm saying?
Susie the soccer mom.
We can do this. We can do this, honey. This game is not really violent. I mean, it brings it. You know, it's cultural. It's hip. You know, look, they even say she got a hip hoppity walk. Well, how? Anyway,
You and your clique in Forspoken can rummage through the eerie hoods. I don't like what are they doing? Like what are they doing? Like what kind of language do they want to?
I don't know.
Boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because they do
know?
say, they say her name, and I remember when they first was announced, were introducing her from the inner city, going through the struggles, and she's just so happy.
Oh man!
Then everybody. Then I remember when everybody was really starting to dog out the game's trailer because of what the voice actress said. That just turned everybody like against the game. I forgot what it was, but it was pretty funny. And I'm like, that's cringe, but I'm still gonna go for it because Square Enix, come on, man. I mean, I think most of the people that work there are Asian, so you know what I'm saying. They don't really know about black culture, so they probably they're like they're trying to bring it in, and I commend them for it. But man, you can't. I mean, look at Final Fantasy VII. Hell, I would even say Crisis Core looks better than this game graphically right now.
I don't know. Crisis Core doesn't. I don't know, man. I played Crisis Core. I don't know.
I know. I played it too, and there's some parts I'm like, oh, this game looks really good and crisp. So
yeah, there's moments in that game. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So,
but here, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. I think they're really trying to their hardest to kind of appease to an audience that is just not gonna even care to buy.
They just wanted to get the female Barrett. That's all.
Well, yeah, I think they just.
No, stop it! Shut your mouth.
They wanna.
Shut your mouth.
They wanna. They wanna.
Are we gonna
What
say
they-
the Hey, now
what they
listen,
want.
Doc, we gonna say the You don't care
What
about
they-
the You don't care about the nut. You don't care about the
But what they're trying to go for, it seems like just a demographic that doesn't even play video games, right?
Oh,
Like that
man.
just isn't into video games like we are, or
Oh.
like even a lot of the people that are into these type of games. So I don't know, man. I hope it's good, but yet at the same time I highly doubt it will be.
Yeah, and that's the thing to me is that where I feel like this game is going to where it has a really good opportunity because they're doing something completely different. For this game to have an opportunity to turn into a franchise, I think they shot themselves in the foot just because of this, and then not giving out the demo, because if you're not giving out a demo, then you're pretty much showing that you don't have confidence in the title. So, that's unfortunate, but we got to go ahead and move on. So let's go ahead and move on to it. Talk about it. I know that what I'm saying, this is big time, but I think that there's a lot of people out there as well that has kind of been riding this wave of the Microsoft let's jumped on bandwagon and throw stones. And I think that for me, there's a lot of misleading going on within the gaming community about how serious this situation is. Very serious about Microsoft and the layoffs. Nobody want 10,000 people being laid off. That's a lot of damn people. And we want these people to find work. You see other people out there trying to get some of these people out there to find other work elsewhere. It is a tough situation. Microsoft's trying to ease it up, saying, well, it's less than 5% or around 5%, whatever the percent. It's still 10,000 people. That is a lot of people to let go. But the one thing that I have to say is that there is a huge misconception as well, because while it is fair to judge Microsoft, you better judge everybody else, because this isn't just a Microsoft thing. So as you know, since I will get to the gameplay here in a second, but I'm just going to show a couple of graphs here. Boom. Let's get to one. Right here. Now, this article right here was from August 21st of last year. So far, right here, we're looking at gaming layoffs. And this is from last year. Oh, right. See, and Yobi, I'm finna get into that. I'm finna get into that here in a second. Like we're about to get medieval on here, and I can't wait to sit here and to let and I wonder if this is going to be the one where Ham is going to be upset with me, but we'll find out. We'll see. Because I love making him upset. It's okay. So we look. I don't know. App loving adjust. I don't know if that's an app for finding love, or I don't know. Is that the? I mean, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. App loving. Have you heard of app loving? I don't know what app loving is.
Never even heard of it.
All right. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. It could be the pants off, dance off, adjust. I don't know, but they lost.
Jesus.
They got rid of 15% of the people that work there. Right. Netflix. They laid off 15%. Playtika, however you say that, pronounce that. Let me be country. You know what I'm saying? Because
Playtika.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I how could that word come out your mouth? Like, let me just say this. How could you be at an office and you're like, hey, Ham Solo, Dart, Viper, the name of our company. What name would you? And then one of you would say that name again. Playtika.
Playtika.
Playtika. If you said that to me, I'm like, what? No. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But they lost between 10 to 15% of their people. Jam City, I don't know who that is. But they lost 10%. Unity, they lost 10%. ByteDance, that might be some kind of like software, I don't know, but regardless, they lost 10%. Mobile Premier League, they lost 5%. Natick, whatever, 5%. Skills, you know what I'm saying, and Immutable, whatever, you know what I'm saying, less than that. So okay, so that's just one here. Now, if you go further, because it's not hard to find, ladies and gentlemen, it's all you got to do is just put gaming layoffs. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And when you do that, why you put this stupid stuff here? Come on. I hate when they do this. Okay, get that stuff out. All right. Oh, my. Oh, there we go. All right. This is in 2023. Okay, Unity access 284 staff for shelves. Now, look, however many people are there, obviously when we went back and we looked at what it was over 15%. TikTok is laid off people. Oh, okay, so they're a TikTok developer. They laid off. Tencent is predicting to bounce back in 2023 after they had layoffs. Okay, back to that name. Wildlife Studios lay off 300 people in Brazil and Argentina. This place, they've downsized. Approximately 7% of employees laid off from Cambrum after reviewing strategic priorities. You know what I'm saying? We just read about that. Mighty Kingdom announces cost reduction plans, including staff layoffs. You know what I'm saying? However you say that, whatever. 15%. It's in Shanghai. It's the Shanghai staff. Lockdown. Look at all this. Look at this. Tencent laid off 5,500 staff members. Okay. And the list goes on because there's another list right here. Let's go over here. Boom. Who else? Yep. Okay, back to Jam City. Okay, that's the pants off, dance off. Ab Lovin' lays off 12%. Let's see. Nintendo is closing offices in California and Toronto. That was in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Activision Blizzard, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, he received $200 million, you know what I'm saying? And it has layoffs. And you know what I'm saying? And then there's King, which was King confirms only one employee affected by the layoffs because King is making so much money. And then it says Kickstarter experienced a 35% drop in live projects. I can keep going, but that's the point that I'm trying to make to people. This is a global tech. They are preparing for a worldwide recession. Will that recession come? Don't know. It looks likely, but they don't know. The Microsoft situation is not nothing to say that it's what's good for the goose, good for the gander. It's still a bad situation. But this isn't just a Microsoft problem. This is a tech problem. Facebook, Amazon, Google, there's layoffs all over the place, and we will hear more. That's the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and go to him solo first on this one. What do you think? Now, I just sit there and said it's a worldwide recession going. They're planning for a worldwide recession. Not saying that layoffs is good for anybody, but do you think that the scrutiny that Microsoft has gotten is fair? And because of the fact that they are in trying to get Activision for so many $1 billion. And overall, do you think that the gaming community is kind of taking this out of context? Unless, if you're going to talk about it, then talk about it all. I don't know. Where's your whole thought process on this whole situation and information that I laid out to
you? So I'm just specifically talking about Microsoft, right?
Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, but I mean, just also include the information. I mean, you don't have to include the stuff that I'm showing you, but I'm just saying that it's just not Microsoft. It is the tech business in general.
Oh, I definitely know it's not Microsoft.
Okay.
Enough said, K Meg. I can take it from here. All right.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So keep in mind, last year Sony had a couple thousand people laid off. At the end of this year, I think it was Facebook had a ton of people laid off.
Mm-hmm.
Here coming up, if it hasn't started yet, Amazon's laying off 16 to 18,000 people. That's almost double what Microsoft is doing. It isn't out of the ordinary. If you look way back years ago, PlayStation got rid of like 12,000 employees. Or not PlayStation, but Sony.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm kind of I'm going to go in the direction that you like to go sometimes, K-Mega. This doom and gloom is out of pocket. We have an event next Wednesday. And people are already thinking Xbox is dying because of this. They're completely ignoring everything that's happening around other gaming companies and other streaming and whatever like companies that are doing that, and they're just looking at Microsoft because it's like, oh, it's a talking point. It's easy to beat up that guy right now, so let's go on ahead and talk about them because they've been having some issues for like the last 5 years, pretty much. I look at the thing that happened with Halo, and I also say, yo, Halo, I know that's probably a topic next, right?
Yeah, that's our next topic. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to dig too much into it, but not only Halo team got hit, but Bethesda came across and said, yo, we're getting hit too. That doesn't mean games are stopping. Redfall ain't stopping. Starfield ain't stopping. Like, I just think that when it comes to Xbox, in general, anything that could be looked at as negative until Xbox comes out to prove that, and not prove to us fans of Xbox, but to prove to those that are PlayStation ride or die, PC ride or die, Switch ride or die, or just, the casual gamer that just doesn't really pay that much attention. Until Xbox is clearly outside, every little negative thing is going to be zoomed in 400%. So that's kind of the way I kind of think about this specific subject, because it's just like 9 times out of 10, when Xbox has a miscue, you can look at the other side of Nintendo and PlayStation, and they've either had that same miscue within that generation or in previous generations. But which one makes the headline? Which one does Kotaku talk about? Which one do all these other things talk about? How many times did that one account on Twitter repost about the Series S being a problem? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't matter what Xbox does until they are outside and people are just like, you know what? I can't even say that they don't have anything good, because it's just like they just got it all. It's not just Game Pass, but it's their first party studios. It's the streaming, it's the Game Pass, it's all of that. It's like irrefutable at this point. Until it's at that point, which I still think that's like probably like 2025, 2027 until that really happens in reality. To where you get the whole world image to look at you a little bit differently. I think we still got some time to go, but until then, anything Microsoft or Xbox related is going to be looked at in a negative light, and it's Xbox's fault, sure, but for kind of doing this to themselves with leadership and stuff like that in the past, but at the same time, it's just kind of how the fans do stuff, you know, like when they're passionate about their nostalgia. You know, PlayStation's been around so long, Nintendo's been around so long, Xbox has been around now, what, 20 years? Mm-hmm. I feel like people are really just nervous to dig into it and rely on it because it's been so great and then bad, then great and then bad. The original Xbox was really good, but it came from nothing. The Xbox 360 was fantastic, but Red Ring of Death and Connect later. The Xbox One was pretty cool, but DRM and Connect. And the Series X is really great, but there's not a whole lot of games out for it yet. So like that's what I'm saying. Like Xbox really needs to be consistent and do their thing for the next few years to kind of scrub this off. So the next time there's going to be layoffs, because there will be more.
Right. This
isn't the end. In 5 more years, whatever, they might have another 10K. Who knows? People act like this is a small company. This company got crazy employees like the U.S. military all over the world. 10K is what, like 2% of what they got?
Yeah. 2 to 3%.
Not a big number. Not a big number. So it's a lot of people, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people, and it's sad that they got to go through, you know, what's it called? Like severance and all that stuff. But I think this whole idea that Xbox is in trouble because of this, and then you look at just the climate that the tech companies are in right now, is just a vast misinterpretation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's well said. All right, let's go to you, Viper. What is your thoughts on this situation? I mean, you agree with him, or do you have a different take on this situation? I mean, because the doom and gloom situation, I've been saying this here lately. It's kicked it. It's festering even more and more, and it's turned into where there's gaming channels that sees that this is more about attention than it is for just coming out and just being completely honest about the situation.
Okay, so let's look at the fact that we had the pandemic. We kind of still are in the pandemic. And you saw how much of a hiring spree that these companies went on last year and the year before that. So they had to hire so many people to get back into the office. And, you know, they're basically, you know, checking out to see, all right, who is going to, you know, perform and do what they need to do to make the company better. So a lot of the people that you see that are getting let go, these are people that didn't perform that well. Because usually what a company would do, they would try to hire, like, say, for instance, they hire 100 people. They go on a hiring spree, they hire 100 people, but yet they know for a fact they're only going to keep about 30 or 40. Okay? So they're training all these people, and then they tell the managers and supervisor, okay, give me your best people, and those are the ones that we're going to be keeping. So they're watching you to see what the heck are you doing throughout this whole time that we're investing in you. Are you performing at your top quality? And if they're not performing at their top quality, they got to go. So you are trying to, you know, compete against other people when you're in this group of people that they're hiring. So let's look at it now in terms of the Microsoft employees from 343, from Bethesda. The people that were there, maybe they weren't performing at their best quality, specifically 343. We know how they were not performing at their top quality, and now you see that they're gone, and you've also seen that some of the people that were let go, they're trying to blame management now, which I kind of believe that management is also to blame for it. But remember, this is a corporation that wants to make money, so they're going to basically say, hey, we hired all these people, only this amount of people are going to stay. These are the top performing ones. They're the ones that's going to stay on. The people who weren't top performers, they're gone. And yes, the recession has something to do with it, because yes, Amazon has gotten rid of 18,000 people. Microsoft got rid of 10,000. I think Apple also got rid of some. Google got rid of some. A lot of these companies are starting to get rid of people because they don't need it. The overhead is not there anymore, so they can't sustain the amount of people that they're hiring. Now, the reason why Microsoft is being scrutinized a little bit more is because they're spending $68.7 billion for Activision Blizzard. So they're going to get more people. So now people are wondering, hey, you just got rid of 10,000 people. You're going to put on some more from Activision Blizzard. Why are you getting rid of people now if you're going to get more? So that's where the scrutiny comes into play. And
which
I
to
can
me,
see what,
RG is insane, because it's just like, what would you expect them to keep every single person? And then
I don't expect
I'm
them
just going
keep
to turn
it.
around and get 10K more people, and
Don't
we're just
forget,
going to sit around the fire.
Guess what else they got rid of? They got rid of the people that were working on HoloLens. So was HoloLens going to become a public thing? No, they only did that for developmental stuff. Everybody was wanting to get HoloLens, because I remember that E3 where they showed off HoloLens on E3 stage with Minecraft. And I was like, oh, this may be the future. This may be their version of VR. Did they come out with it for the public? No. So, yeah, I could see them getting rid of the people in the HoloLens area. And it's not just the Xbox division that was messed up. It's also other parts of Microsoft. It's a huge company. The Edge browser team, they got let go too, because Edge is not even Microsoft stuff anymore. It's actually Google's Chrome, and with just the Edge stuff with it. So I'm like, come on now. There's a lot of redundancy in the company, so they had to get rid of some people. And I don't see where what the issue is with everybody getting so up in arms about that. This is what business is all about. So, all of this stuff that they're saying, oh, well, Microsoft is doing this, Microsoft doing that. I'm like, shut up. Just shut up.
Hey, RG, you know what happens in a week?
Yeah. They're doing a developer conference.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What?
So at the end of this month, Satya Nadella is supposed to meet up with investors.
Oh, okay.
And this is that time to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
When you're trying to meet up with investors, they don't want to see a whole bunch of overhead.
Yeah, I don't want to see a lot of pork. No,
especially if you're making an acquisition. It's just like, wait a second, you're buying this and you're keeping all of that?
Right.
Mm.
And
you want my money?
And on top of this is that what I think a lot of people aren't understanding too is that you will be with the AB, and I still feel that the ABK deal is going to go through, is that once you're taking in all of that, the employees that's there as well. So again, for the extra people that they hired 40,000 extra people and they cut 10. So that means there's 30,000 extra people that they picked up in the last couple of years during the pandemic, and the people that they're going to have from Activision. And then, you know what I'm saying? They just got, this is just what companies do. And another thing too, to your point, Viper, I agree to a degree, but I don't think it's all because the people's performance wasn't the best. You also got to put in the equation about last hires. Because I was one of those people that got laid off, and it wasn't because of my performance. It was because I was the last hire. I was in the they hired another 20 people, and they had to let go of 8 or 9, and I was like the 5th person in that line, and they wanted to keep me, but the fact of it is that the people that they would have to, if they kept me, then they would have to be in a situation where they would have to let go one of their veterans, you know, and I've only been there for 8 months, you know what I'm saying? That still doesn't give you a person who's been there for 10, you know, for 6, 5, 10 years, you know what I mean? So that that was one of the reasons why I got laid off. So I think that's
in
part
terms
of
of
the same
that
thing as well,
situation. In terms of that situation right there, how much more money are you going to have to pay out for somebody who's been there for such a long time versus somebody who just got there?
Well, it was the recession. It was the recession in 2009 that the reason why I got laid off. And regardless of it, is that like when people have, and a lot of people may not know this, but when you have a standing with a company for a good long period of time, you have a lot of rights. So if that person just said, well, I just got laid off, but they got these new hires, I'm more loyal to the company. Now it's a different situation, and it has nothing to do with the recession when they try to push out the older the older people and bring in the new cheaper employees. That's a different type of topic for a different day. But the recession was was the reason why I got laid off. So I know what that feeling is like. I got I was on scraping for a little bit, working at labor finders and shit like that. If I don't know if people know what labor finders and stuff is, you do the crummiest, nastiest.
It's almost like people
drugs.
ready here.
It's awful, and you don't get paid nothing. But you know what I'm saying. So, but I was doing it until I could draw unemployment, and then after that, then I was like, oh, okay, well, and then there was a hiring freeze because the work that I was wanting to get back into, they weren't hiring anybody. So I was like, oh, well, I can sit back and I can game for a little while. But you know what I'm saying. But the point of the matter is, before then, I was on the grind. So working at a job, getting only $7 an hour from a job when I got laid off from was getting 15, 16 at the time. So like that, there's a big difference. So it's so like I said, I feel bad for the people who got laid off, but every recession, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, and here's the thing. No, but I don't think anybody should be. Oh Lord, here we go. The Mogwai's back. Miss
Patty. I told her to keep him sleeping, and he must have fucking woke up or something. I don't know.
She didn't give him enough.
Till Dark well,
I'm gonna have to.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna chill down for a second. I'm at work.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to Miss Patty. But okay. But go ahead, Dark. Oh man.
Shut your mouth! God damn it! Get back to sleep!
Oh no. When you get a chance, when it's my turn, I'm gonna break it down to you exactly what's going on.
Okay. All right. Can't wait to hear it. So let me go to Dark. So give your perspective on this situation. Like, I mean, you just got laid off, so you know how that feels as well. It sucks, but do you think it's too much doom and gloom right now? And if you know what I'm saying, going on with Microsoft, and if not, then what's your thoughts about the whole situation? Period. I mean, because it's pretty much it's a lot to talk about.
Well, I mean, fuck Xbox. Woo! Let it die! Let it die! No. No, seriously.
Oh, man.
No. Honestly, I mean, my situation was completely different than this situation. Of course, I agree with Viper to a certain extent. I think a lot of it for these guys was a performance issue, and who performs better is going to keep the job, and who doesn't is going to not keep the job. For me, it was a lot different. They were getting rid of the building, and it would just cost too much for them to move everybody to where they wanted to move to. So, they had to get rid of people. I mean, there was people there that were there for like 20 something years, who were getting let go, So it's just
Unions, baby, gotta love it.
It was just a thing, that happened. It happens to everybody, it happens to all of us, I mean, at some point, maybe not everybody, but to a lot of people, it happens to this type of stuff happens. So it is just it sucks, yes, but at the end of the day, I think these people will be okay. It sounds like they're gonna get a 6 months of health insurance and benefits,
3 months
stuff like that.
of paid salary.
Yeah, let me speak, Sir X-Men. You keep your mouth shut, damn it.
Well, you were speaking along with it, man.
No,
Yo, man, I ain't got 20 minutes, man. I only got a little bit of time.
I only got shut your mouth. Put it back to sleep, Miss Patty. God damn it. But no, man. I honestly think that this is just blown out of proportion, like everything else is in the gaming industry right now. Everybody's feeling the hits. Even Disney's feeling the hits of layoffs and everything. I mean, the film industry is getting hit pretty hard with layoffs and things like that because they're getting ready for a recession. They're getting ready for the not only for Hollywood, like in terms of a recession for Hollywood, it's more just crappy stuff coming out, crappy content that's been coming out lately. People are just not interested in a lot of this stuff, and it's showing. It's showing with the reviews and people just sick and tired of the one-sided agenda that some of these companies are pushing, and people just don't like that. So it's hitting everyone, it's hitting everything, as of right now. I think it's a matter of time where we hear about PlayStation, Sony laying off people. It's gonna happen. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, but your precious company is gonna do it too. It just happens in this type of industry, right? Um, it's actually been a while since the film industry has had that, um, because during the recession they were thriving because they had what were people doing? People weren't going out and going vacations. They were going to the movies because that's all they could afford, right? So but right now the way that the market is working right now, the layoffs are happening to the film industry too because of the fact that like I said, the the crappy content that they've been coming out with, um
And the prices of movie theaters.
and prices of movie theaters too. Yeah, you got that one right too, man. I mean, prices of movie going to see a movie now has almost tripled in the last several
Sleepy's
years.
back.
It's wild, man. It's completely insane at how much we were so close to having um, movies being streamed on day and date uh, streaming services, and they took that away because people were so like, I'm not ready for it. Well, you should have been ready for it because it was gonna come
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
Mm.
And now it's showing. I mean, luckily we still have some companies that are doing it, like Netflix. Not saying that Netflix has everything that's really good. Not everything that they've done has been really good, but they've had some pretty some hits. They've had a lot of misses, yes, but they've had some hits too, right? They've had
Everybody
some.
has misses. Yeah.
Right, exactly, and everybody has misses and things like that. It's just it's just the matter of the times. I think Microsoft's going to be okay. I think Xbox is going to be okay. If Xbox, I honestly don't think X. It's funny because I did see people saying, "Oh well, it's the end of Xbox," and I'm like, you guys, you guys are crazy, man. It's like it's the same thing with people who say it's the end of PlayStation. It's like, no, it's not. It's just the way that things are going right now and the way things are doing right now. I mean, granted, yeah,
Can I
could
get
it
to
be?
the fat real quick
Hold
No,
before I
on, one
have to
let him
go
second.
back
finish.
to work?
One
He's
second.
almost
I'm
done.
almost done. I'm almost done.
Yeah.
One thing I was gonna say is that the PlayStation and Xbox, this could be their last generation. We don't know.
Mm.
We don't know. We don't know. This could be their last generation where they make a console, right? But they could be working on, like a streaming like Game Pass, right? Like Game Pass to your TV, Game Pass to this, Game Pass to that, right? Like they could be doing that right now. That could be the thing. It just depends, it could happen, it couldn't happen. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know until we get to that moment, right? Until we're there, and we're like, well, it was a good run, right, for console gaming, but we it's moving, and it's moving fast too. So it's just depends, to be honest.
Okay, Sir X-Man, it's your go. Now, here you go. Break us down.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
let me in
since you
for
were
a minute
whining
to
and
get my
crying
brief
about it.
moment. I love you too, you crazy.
Well,
But
okay, I just said your name, and now you over here still saying, "Can I get my 10?" What? Yeah.
no, I'm just saying I appreciate you for letting me in for a minute to
I probably will.
get my spiel
I'm
on
finna,
this.
I'm finna kick.
Well,
I'm
get
finna
your
kick you
spill
out.
on then. Yeah,
Anyway,
kick
no,
his
go
ass
ahead.
out.
Here's the thing on the Microsoft side and the teams. They
Mhm.
didn't take teams away from what do you call that? The other team side with an eye, the people that make a perfect dark. They
Oh, and the
didn't take
initiative.
teams the
Mhm.
initiative. They didn't take teams, so obviously they like what they're doing over there. They know they're gonna get some good, good quality game out of that. They checking on them and seeing what they doing. Even though they in the beginning they were a bunch of alcoholics. But I look like they got themselves together.
What?
Um, you remember you saw all the pictures of them with all the liquor, in the
What?
cabinet and everybody drinking.
I
You
I
never
don't
don't
saw
know
those
remember
anything
that.
about
videos?
I
that.
didn't know. No.
No, you didn't know that, nigga? Oh
What?
man, it was all over the place with that. But obviously, they're getting rid of their non-financially and cutting down some of the slack from the people that aren't producing. If you notice, most of those names that they are cutting are people that haven't been producing and haven't been showing any profit. For the company, they're starting to lose things. 343, they probably did need to start doing a rebuff. So I'm telling you, I bet you we're about to see a lot more things come from them with less people because they're going to start recognizing that, oh, my job could be next on the block. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to start producing and showing things, all of us, or if, we're going to be gone because there's already rumors about, I doubt it, even though Ham's put it out there, of other people coming to take over Halo. And 343 has got the eye on them, just like that other company that robbed us with Scalebound did.
Yep.
Uh, and some of the other companies that haven't been producing, as far as the gaming division, they've cut a lot of. They cut most of their slack is coming from the regular Microsoft. That's where a lot of cutting is coming from. But a lot of people don't see that because they only see the gaming part. They don't see the bigger picture. So obviously there are some departments that they went, looked at, and this wasn't no instantaneous thing. Things like this take a while for you to get that evaluation of what's going on in the business. So they looked at the ones that weren't, I say, weren't really being cost efficient for the company. It has nothing to do with the Activision deal. That money was already money that was already there, just sitting there, and they said we're going to use it. But all companies are pretty much doing that now. They're just cutting the fat. That's what they do in these times. They do it even when it's not a recession coming. It's just this fiscal time of the year, and they got to make sure their books are straight to justify what they're doing. Now, a lot of these people might come. They might be coming back. Eventually. It's like when they lay off at a job. So, if you're a union member, you have to come back because you got to fall where they got to call you back where your seniority lies. So they can't hire nobody until they bring you
Well,
back.
but yeah,
With,
the gaming industry is just now getting started with unions, so no, those people aren't coming back.
correct. And so I'm thinking with the Activision deal, if it's going to go through, they're going to have a lot more union members that, and most of them are developers. So if they go to a union, you can't really just wipe them off the map like that. You can lay off from the bottom up, but you can't wipe them out completely like that. So I think they're preparing for that also, but I think they're trying to show these other divisions that Microsoft has, as far as gaming, that they bought these studios. That look, if you don't start pushing out like we want, without doing that grind stuff everybody talks about, I think a lot of people are going to start putting out more games, getting them on time, and making them better. Instead of, I'm not trying to say slack off, but obviously there's been some slacking off somewhere in these divisions that they're trying to, stop. Just like these other companies, they're trying to stop the slack off because they're paying them, but they're not producing. And most jobs, if you're not producing, they will cut the slack. And that's how I'm feeling on it. And that's gonna be a trickle down, K Mega. You gotta admit, to a lot of other developers and companies out there that make games. They'll be like, oh man, they're doing this around the world. I need to get on my grind and get this stuff back where it's supposed to be. So you might see games that start becoming less delayed and taking like 5, 6, 7, 8 years to make and start pushing them out sooner. But
I can
that's
tell
just
you,
my
Ubi,
take on it. I hope you guys agree with me.
I don't know about the delay
hey,
thing. but we'll
Ubisoft.
see.
I don't know, man. I couldn't understand what he was saying at all this whole entire time. He sounded like he was in a muffled cave somewhere. I was like, man, this dude, the Mogwai, let him out of the cave, man.
Yo, remember, dude, you have bad internet, Dark. So sometimes your stuff don't work.
You got bad.
That is true.
You heard that part, didn't you? But that's just my take on it, man. Me and Ken Mega been around a long time, and we've seen it.
Well,
Yeah,
you've
no.
been around a long time, yes, but I don't know.
Yeah, he did throw me in there like I wanted, like I'm an old fart like him.
Yeah, like you're like 80 years old, like he is. Come on now.
I mean, I have been around for a little bit, but
But you've been, like I said, you've been working
Oh,
as
yeah,
long
no,
as me, and
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen
Yeah.
how this works. If you don't produce, they'll
No,
rip you right out.
Yeah, you gotta, and that's the one
But it's
thing
not
about.
always. But that's not always. But that's the thing. You guys are saying it like that's always the case, and that's not always the case.
Well, no,
it's not
it's not.
always.
That's
in
why
In this
when-
in this
situation,
case, it was.
situation, yes.
In this situation,
Yes,
yes.
it is.
But to make sure you don't say that this is always the case, because it makes people feel like, oh well, I didn't perform well then
Right.
at my
In
job.
business,
Yeah, that's why I didn't
I've
agree with
seen
Viper
that
when
my
he said that the whole
57
time.
years, Dark. I've seen it.
Well, no, I've
Especially
seen
with
it.
non-union companies, Dark.
I've seen it too.
You see
but then-
what?
But there's also, but see, look, but I've also seen people where they might know something about their employer. That's why they're still on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen people really slack off and not do the job that they were supposed to do. And
Oh,
they
yeah,
still
for
stay.
sure.
And then people that
That-
work hard,
yeah,
better,
exactly.
that could be
They get laid off.
They get laid off.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, so it
catch-22.
just depends. Yeah, it just depends on the company and what the company decides and stuff like that. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew, like for my company, I knew it was coming. Like I knew it was coming, because I was like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way when they said when everybody was supposed to come back from COVID that only like maybe 2 people came back from COVID. I'm all like, come on now, we know that you're gonna get.
All right,
rid
I'm
of
gonna back out, guys. Go ahead.
Okay, man.
Oh.
Good. Thanks for
It's like-
thanks for the advice, bro. I really appreciate
We
it.
knew that they
All
were
right,
gonna
no
get
sweat,
rid
bro.
of-
Thank you.
we knew that they were gonna get rid of. Yeah, finally, you fucking left. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Wow.
No.
So nice.
Shout out to Sir X-Man. I love that guy. He's funny. But no, I think, in certain circumstances, yes, definitely performance is the key thing there. But I think, you kind of have to know that it's not always performance, right? It's other things too. There's other factors that play into this. But of course, yes, for this situation, a lot of it probably was trimming the fat and saying, well, these people aren't performing really well. We need to get rid of them. We're having a quotas come in down the pipeline, so we need to get rid of them. And that's the thing, that these internet sites, they have to they have to. It's like their obligation to report on this stuff.
Right.
It's not necessarily to create panic in the workplace, right? It's not. It's to just say, hey, this is what's happening. It's it's crazy, man. I don't necessarily agree with some of the companies when they lay off people, but sometimes it is warranted.
One more point before we move on is I wanted to say something else about Amazon and something that they did. I was watching the news last night, and what you might not know is that Amazon, of course, not only they're going to get rid of the 18,000, they are cutting back on a long-standing program that was for a charity program for kids getting school supplies. They've had it for so long.
Yeah, I know what program you're talking about.
And it's so long that there's been so many people that's been doing it, and they've had it for so long, but they're just like, we're cutting the fat. Now, on top of the 18,000, now listen, that to me, that's crummy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crummy, the whole situation. I mean, it's not good, right? Like, I don't want to see nobody without a job. But it's
unless they deserve it.
Well, yeah, unless they deserve it. But I mean, damn.
Sometimes some people do deserve it, yeah.
But damn, you gonna cut a long-standing program? You know what I'm saying? The program to help children get school supplies?
Maybe. Well, you got to look at it from this standpoint, right? Maybe not investing in it. Also, maybe Amazon was putting a lot of their own money into that too, and that, with investors, that doesn't look good. I understand that it is crummy. It sucks, and I'm pretty sure they probably think it sucks that they're having to get rid of that program. But at the end of the day, they have to do what they have to do to survive in a market like this, where the market is going and where it's
it's gonna be rough.
It's about money.
Yeah. It's all about money.
It's always been about money.
It's always
about
That's
money.
what it is.
Even you getting laid off, K Mega, and me getting laid off, it was about money. It was. We know it. You know it. I know it. It's just what it is.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and it was just the same thing for me when they forced me to retire. Because they found out that I got hurt, and they did like, no, we ain't gonna keep paying for your insurance. We ain't gonna see you later. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I got these lawyers waiting on deck. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for me to get to where you know what I'm saying, but your ass is gonna pay for that, because you weren't supposed to have me out there in that rain like that, and me going through it. So I'm gonna get some compensation from that. So you know what I'm saying. And so I mean, and that's just how you got to play the game. I mean, it is all about money at the end of the day, and it sucks, but that's just reality of it.
That's why I always think that it's funny when people think that these corporations are their friends.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No, I love Xbox with everything for my entertainment, but you know what I'm saying. But listen, they wouldn't love me if I wasn't buying. They wouldn't love me back or show me appreciation or be nice to me if I wasn't giving them money. So
exactly.
Like feel like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey man, I haven't never bought an Xbox before. Oh, okay. Well, it was nice meeting you. Anyway, so I mean, so that's what it is about. It's about the money every day, all day. But let's move on to something we when you was just bringing up and saying, and Sir X-Men as well, saying, look, not performing well. I think now it is the goose is cooked for for a studio that I have been holding for giving a lot of love for, and I will still give love for 343. But it looks like things are changing. And we're going to talk about if the changes are going to be good or these changes are going to be bad. So, I'm saying I'm going to go to Viper first on this one, but the whole situation with Halo's future. There's been a lot of information that's come out. There was some really good information that came out from some people that I trust in regards to Halo. But for so much, we know that Staten left. I don't have anything personal against the man. All right, like he might be the salt of the earth. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but I was not pleased with the direction with all the stuff that he took out from Halo Infinite. But I'm sure that they had to do that in order to get the game out. So you know what I'm saying? I can, you know what I'm saying, I can feel a certain way, but at least we got Halo Infinite out, and Halo Infinite was a good game. And when it launched, it was I thought it was great. You know, everything was right. But
yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I thought everything was right. And everything that we was anticipating failed. And so Staten, he decided to step away. I said this on the podcast months ago. Like, the man don't stay too long. Like you just check his track record, he gets out. And when you looked and seen what he was doing with in interviews, he didn't want to touch it on any of those hot topics. Like, he would pass that on like it was a hockey puck, like it was a hot potato. He'll talk about it. Like, he didn't want to deal with it, Jack.
Is that how it sounded too?
Yeah, that's how he sounded. Yeah, it was too hot, man.
Sound like Peter. He sounded like Peter from
like
Family
Peter.
Guy.
Right?
Damn.
He passed that buck quick. Right? He passed out quick. So you had that, and now,
damn.
The rumors about Halo was thinking about dropping the Slip Space engine and going to Unreal 5, which I was all for. If that's cool. I mean, Unreal Engine is proven. Slip Space is not yet fully proven. I mean, for what we've seen in Halo Infinite, the game at times looked absolutely amazing. At times it didn't. But it's from the stuff that I've heard, and so let me go ahead and say this, and then, like I said, go to Viper, that they're going to keep the Slip Space engine. There was thoughts and talks about the DLC stuff, but that got debunked. And there was no plans for DLC once they decided that the 10-year plan was not going to happen, because Staten came in there and shut that shit down like the ATF. Like, no, that's not what's going to happen. That thought is gone. So then people started leaving because they're like, well, we had this vision and now this vision is dead. Microsoft gave it to him. Bonnie Ross is out and I'm out. And then the Slip Space engine guy left. He's out. And so they finally give it to someone, which is a African-American gentleman. Gave me some really good hope. It was happy because, remember, when they did the whole crazy stuff where I had to get into 343's ass when they with the old previous stuff, I guess, that they had.
Shit.
What'd you say?
I said pause.
Oh, well, no, I had to get in that ass. They were, no, ain't no pausing that. I had to dig in, boy, because they were foul for that monkey thing that they had, that little joke thing that they had in there. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't care how old that code was, that shouldn't have been there. And then, you had that crazy shit going on in Juneteenth, which Juneteenth is very important, especially for African Americans. So that was ill. And so then when you look at the pictures, you see mostly younger white people there, and you don't see too many people of color in there. So now you got somebody of color who's in charge, and then all of a sudden the bottom falls out, and it looks like Halo is no longer going to be making. 343 is no longer going to be making Halos. They will oversee the Halo games, but they will no longer be making them. That's crazy. Now, some people will be happy with this. And Max, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of people should be happy about this, because a lot of people have been saying, well, let this other company, let this other studio get a hold of Halo. Let this other studio get a hold. Why don't you just let 343 go away? Well, now you can have 343 just oversee while you have these other studios partake and take over by doing a project. Now, another thing that I like about this is that the projects that they're going to make is not going to necessarily be all pertaining to Master Chief. They'll be doing other things, like they'll be like the guy that's in charge of 343 now. He's a really big fan of Halo Wars, so there's an opportunity that Halo Wars 3 could drop. Let's say that they get Activision, Microsoft get Activision. Activision could actually work on a Halo game and put their spin on it. Obsidian could put their Coalition. And only thing that 343 does is oversee, because they know the lore. They got the people that knows everything about this. I think that's a good thing. I think that that's really cool, because they'll finally branch out the series. But there is no DLC coming. There is, we'll just have to wait for another Halo, and then we'll see who's going to actually make that Halo. That rumor sounds cool to me. So I don't know. Let me get your thoughts about this, Viper. What do you think? Do you think that, do you believe that? And if you don't, do you think it's time for 343 to shut it down? To be shut down?
So let's go into this really, really deep, because we know Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer, when Bethesda showed up, what do you think he said at that developer, or that sit down when developer was when ZeniMax was purchased, when it was completed? What did he say about having the id Tech on Halo? Because he did mention that I'd like to see what id Tech engine could be done with Halo, and that marriage and all of that. So it has been in the works for a long time. 343 was on borrowed time a long time ago. So they've had their misses with Halo 4 in terms of its multiplayer. They've had their misses on Halo 5 with its campaign. And the fact is, now they've had this miss with Halo Infinite.
Everything about Halo. Halo 5 is still the best-selling Halo of all time, bitches. Okay, continue.
I didn't say that it was bad.
When you talk about the mighty Halo 5, you speak it with your chest out in respect. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hashtag Phil Locke.
Okay, keep going.
So basically, 343 was on borrowed time, because Phil Spencer knew what was going on. And this whole let go of the 10,000 people, did you know that the majority of them were from 343?
Yeah, I knew that.
The majority
there was
of
a lot of them from there.
Exactly. And then Jason Statham going back to his old job with World Publishing. So that lets you know Phil Spencer knew what he was doing. He knows he's giving people a chance. Fix this stuff now, or I'm getting rid of you. And what happened? The stuff didn't get fixed, and he got rid of them. So now, I think that what's going to happen now is that his plan of having id, or maybe even Machine Games, or anybody else take over Halo. Yes, you will have 343 overseeing it in terms of the lore, but when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to multiplayer,
no, 343 will still do. Because I should have read this, so because I was over here ad-libbing, because there's a lot to read. So I'm going through it now, and I'm looking at it. 343 will continue to do the multiplayer. But the story is probably going to be done by somebody. It's going to most likely be done by somebody else. It's just that 343 is going to oversee it.
Are we talking about Halo Infinite, or are we talking about a new Halo game?
A new Halo from here on out. The multiplayer at 343 will continue to make it, but everything else Halo is going to other studios.
So it could be that certain Affinity might become
could be
maybe the head, maybe the battle royale, or it could be the story mode. But we do have id, and we've got Machine Games, and so
You
if
got Coalition?
Coalition, but I don't think Coalition wants to work on Halo.
Why
I think
not?
they love Gears as it is.
Yeah.
I think they like Gears, and that they said that they're trying to do a new IP anyway. So
Yeah. The
I don't think they
Initiative?
want to go to Halo.
Okay.
The Initiative, I don't know. I'd rather have the Initiative do a new IP, a new studio with a new IP. They're already starting off with an old IP. Hopefully, they make this one work fine. But I want to see a new IP from a lot of these studios, and they got to hit. But I think what Phil Spencer wants is he wants id Tech on Halo, because id Tech works so well with Doom, and we need a new fresh paint on Halo. We need new gameplay with Halo, because the gameplay we got now, it's old, it's stale.
Oh no, I can't.
There needs to be.
I can't co-sign that. I cannot co-sign
Well,
that.
you don't have to co-sign. I'm gonna tell it the way it is. The gameplay is getting stale.
But you ain't telling it how it is. Now keep going. All right. What?
I think a lot of people will agree with me. I know the chat will agree with me. I think a lot of
not agree with you, and I don't think anybody on this panel is going to agree with you. Maybe Dark, because
that's fine. That is fine.
Right.
But it's stale. It's stale. They need some new life into it. They need to have it run a little bit faster. They need to have that frame rate be at a lock 60 or a lock 120. So and they got to basically have a fresh paint of code on it, because so they need to do something with Halo, because there is no Xbox if there is no Halo. So they need to make sure that Master Chief does not die. Right now, he's on bended knee. He can't stand tall right now, because 343 screwed up, management screwed up, Microsoft screwed up. So right now they got to right the ship, and they need to do something to make sure that Master Chief gets back to where he needs to be, and we need to make sure that our mascots remain our mascots, and they are the identity of what Xbox is. Plain and simple.
Okay. There's a lot for me that I want to dissect you and chop you into pieces with, but I will not. I respect your decision. I respect your opinion.
Right, because you know I'm right.
I do not agree with you at 90% of what you said, but like I said,
okay,
I'm not
cool.
But no. But I mean, that's fine. I mean, I know that there's other people out there that will agree with you. I just think that you was a little harsh, but that's what the podcast is about, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to go to Ham on this one next, and so do you agree with Viper with what he's saying, that the gameplay is old and dusty? It looks like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick.
That's insane.
And do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? And so, okay, so let me go ahead and let me read a little bit of this. Not fully detailed, but let me read this. Okay, so all content planned for this year. The seasons, fashions, elements to come are maintained and are not disrupted. This will include all Halo Infinite related projects worked on 343 Industries and Eternal Studios, Forge maps and content, modes and elements. You know what I'm saying? So this is not the end of Halo Infinite when it comes to multiplayer. For the information, these redundancies do not represent the only loss of 343 Industries. Between this, the position transferred to other teams within Microsoft, and the non-renewal of external contractors, 343 Industries actually lose 1/3 of the workforce. And let me just keep going. Okay, so according to them, narrative solo content has proven to be difficult to produce in recent years, not offering strong player retention, not allowing viable monetization for the sustainability of the studio and teams. A decision will then have been made not to continue production of single player narrative content for Halo Infinite or the Halo generally at this time. And then it goes into what I just said pretty much is because like I said, this was a pretty long read, and that Halo going forward will have other studios working on other parts of different content of Halo, like for instance, the main Halo story will be done by one studio, but other studios will see other other projects. So do you like this, or do you feel like this is kind of like the beginning of the end of Halo's future? Where are you on this?
No way.
Okay.
No way. If anybody thinks that something with this kind of lore, something that just had a TV show come out for it,
yes,
is already in the grave or on its way to the grave, I think that's just insane. And you can clip me on that one.
Like Larry Holmes, because that's what
you
Viper
can
said.
You can clip me on that statement. I don't.
You said it was stale.
I don't think it is any. And I hear people out here, like I said, talking about the whole doom and gloom of Halo, and I can agree that Halo came out fantastic and just kind of hurt your feelings as the longer that it's been out, because you had all these great anticipations. But to be clearly honest with me, I've lately been having a fantastic time playing it. But when it comes to like DLC for like campaign and stuff like that, because that's kind of the topic right now, in my opinion, because I think they've made good strides within the multiplayer, which, as the article as an article from Game Rant actually says, like, they're happy to continue to work with 343 when it comes to the multiplayer. They're happy with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what to do with Halo now? And as you guys mentioned earlier, certain affinities still working on what they're working on. Skybox Labs, what is it? Spirasoft is still out there. Let's see. Like, I think I don't know who was saying. I don't remember exactly if it was K-Mega or if it was Viper, but you were just mentioning about like id Software. Yeah, I think that was Viper that said that. And I don't think that's crazy idea at all, because somebody's got to pick up where this where this franchise left off, in my opinion. Like, the people clearly want it. They clearly want it. They just want some respect on it, more respect on it, and less confusion. Like, just come out, do what you got to do. Kind of like what K Mega said about when Joseph Staten came in and you felt like you missed out on some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to leave your fan base feeling like that. And Halo came out and it was pretty good. It felt great when it came out, and then as it kind of went on, it was like, all right, well, now it just feels pretty good and not great anymore, especially when you wanted to play with your friends and you had to wait so long just to do that for campaign and stuff like that. Like, it just feels like it kind of got fumbled on the way out. So, like, Halo isn't the type of franchise that can just do good when it comes out. It has to do great every time it appears its face. 343, or not 343, but Bungie had that same thing with it. When they put up Halo out, like ODST in Reach, there was backlash there because Halo 3 was just so goddamn good. Right? And I know ODST is like an expansion to 3 pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I remember how much, like, just the friends I was hanging out with, because I wasn't on Facebook that much, or not even Facebook back then. Really, it was damn near MySpace time back then. But or early Facebook. I don't really remember. But anyways, I remember just my friends saying this is the ODST thing. Oh, this isn't as good as 3, but I mean, it's pretty cool that it came with the multiplayer disc separate, like, you know, because it used to be 2 discs back then.
Right.
But, you know, what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if you're 343, Bungie, Certain Affinity, id Software, Naughty Dog. It doesn't freaking matter who you are. If you're grabbing onto the Halo title, which, like I said, it isn't done because it's just that popular. It's so popular that you will be scrutinized and oh my God, like, it's that community, like, as great as it is, it can be very toxic. Very, very toxic. And I yeah, like I said, I just don't think that they're anywhere near done. You may see different styles of playing in it. I think that's a possibility. Like different genres being introduced into the Halo universe.
Yes.
But I don't think they are anywhere near done with that IP. Okay. It's just too much of a moneymaker, and it screams Xbox.
Right.
Like, it just, I mean, I think they're gonna run it until Xbox is gone, if they ever go.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. See, now this is the thing that I just don't agree with what Childish Bambino says. He says Halo just needs to catch up with the times of it's being passed by other shooters like Apex, Fortnite, COD. What else is Halo being stopped? You know, is behind, because when Halo came out, like, it had Battlefield crying. You know what I'm saying? EA crying like Halo came out. Well, how can we sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, Halo is not, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you can be a heavyweight champion for so long before you get knocked out. And listen, the one thing is what it's about. It's just no different than an album, right? Like for me, like this, for instance, like Snoop Dogg, right? Like, I love damn near all of Snoop Dogg's albums, but his best album was his first album to me. Does that take away from if Snoop drops an album here next week that I'm not going to listen to it, or I'm going to compare it to the first? I might after I listen to it and say, well, it's not as good as the first, but am I going to stop listening to it? No, especially if it has bangers on it. The relevancy, what keeps you going is is being relevant. And that could be said with a game like Mario. You know what I'm saying? Mario 3, you know, or the top 3 Marios, like the first 3-4 Marios are they're always going to be, you know, Mario Sunshine or Mario 64 or whatever, whichever Mario was your favorite. Did Odyssey wet the palate and make you say, well, Odyssey's better than Mario Sunshine or Mario 3? No, but you just like the fact that Mario was still around. That's why I think people have this weird misconception about Halo, is though, like, Ham, I agree with you. Like, the community, there's some people think that when Halo drops, it has to be the most biggest epic game that's ever been out there. And sometimes it's just not going to be that, because of the fact that maybe that it's just, and the mistakes can happen, but as long as the game is good and it's solid, there was mistakes made with the other Halos, right? But the fact of it was, but you can't say that those games were awfully bad. Halo has never had an awfully bad game. Now, if you want to say the twin shooters are bad games, okay, knock yourself out. But as Halo,
yeah, those were bad.
But Halo games, there has not been one of them that's been absolutely atrocious and bad. ODST is probably the worst one, and that's still playable, and you can find moments of joy in it. So
ODST was not bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't Halo 4, Halo 5, or Halo 1, 2, 3. or Halo Infinite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was or Reach. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing to me, is that like everybody wants to compare it to, because that was a lot of people's first time playing Halo was Halo 3. And Halo 3 was okay. It was great, but it wasn't Halo 2. And it wasn't Halo 1. Golly, 3 was okay. Like, when I keep hearing people say Halo 3 was all right compared to 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's my opinion. But Dark.
Yo, K-Meg, I'm just gonna butt in real quick and just say, like, what's happening, in my opinion, to Halo right now, is very similar, in my opinion, but like just going like the way that it's going about might be differently completely, but like the way this IP is kind of floating around Halo.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Gears, where it goes from Epic, and then like Epic stops it, and Xbox is like, yo, this game's too damn popular. Somebody gotta make something. Yo, People Can Fly, come here. You're doing it. And then People Can Fly do it, and they're like, Coalition, what's cracking? Coalition comes in, and now look at everybody. They cannot wait for another Gears.
Right.
I feel like that is something that is going to possibly happen.
People were really shitting on Gears 4. If you go back and play Gears 4, you would. I think a lot of people would have a lot, because I went back and played it not too long ago. I would say about 2 years ago, and I was like, man, this game looks insane. This game is amazing. The first part of it was a little boring to me when they introduced the DBs. After that game got to rolling. Once you got done with the like 2-3 hours of the DB stuff, after that game was fire. And then Gears 5, my God, what can you say bad about Gears 5?
Going from Judgment to Gears 4.
Right.
Talking to somebody, me right here.
Yeah.
I literally, I was just bitching to you about Judgment not that long ago, K-Meg.
You was.
Yeah, I was disrespecting Judgment. I didn't like it. But going from Gears Judgment to Gears 4, like, people don't respect that leap. Like, it's insane of a leap from Judgment to 4. It's like
a lot of people didn't play 4 though. I mean, a lot of people didn't play Judgment. That's why.
Oh my God.
Their last previous game was with Gears 3, which was absolutely amazing, right?
Fantastic game.
And I think that's the same thing that's happened with Halo, because a lot of people didn't play Reach and a lot of people didn't play ODST, and then I think a lot of people did play 4, and then at that point, Halo 5, it was just a hate just already with the Xbox One. And there was a lot of people who didn't play Halo 5 that talked shit about Halo 5. And I thought Reach was a better story than Halo 3. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'll argue that to anything. Reach was outstanding.
Reach was fantastic. It made you sad as hell, man.
Right. Like, I mean, that was the prequel to everything. Like, oh my God, this was nuts.
What they did just to get that information was just insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, you made a fantastic point. That was a great point with what you just said there, because a lot of people didn't play Judgment. They just went straight from from Gears 3 to Gears 4. And they already.
But even if you look at Gears 3 and just jump to 4, that is a massive jump in everything. Technique and the way it looks. But I would not be crazy enough to say the story was better in 4, because it wasn't. Like 3, to me, Gears 2 and 3, best stories.
Oh yeah, no,
insane.
There's no question. No, you're right about that. You're right. Okay, that was some really great points. Dark, what do you think? I know that you're not really, well, you play Halo on occasion, but you're not really into Halo like that. That's why I kind of wanted to let you go for last on it. But do you think that Halo itself is in trouble? Like, because there are people that are really out here thinking that this is the end of Halo and Xbox. I mean, you even got journalists that's even going out here and saying, well, Starfield is going to go ahead and overtake Halo, so might as well send Halo and put it to his grave. Why is it there's so many PlayStation stands, journalists, and others out there that wants Halo to die? Why is that? And Childish, you're right. Halo is lacking the content for Fortnite, and I totally agree with you on that. No, they have to step their game up on Infinite with the multiplayer. You're absolutely right. But Dark, what do you think about it? Why are there people that feel that way about an iconic franchise like?
Because it fucking sucks. No.
Whoa!
No, honestly, man, I don't really know what to say on this one, because for me personally, and this is just for me personally, I have grown out of Halo, you know, and I liked the campaign of Halo Infinite for sure, yeah. But you know, it was good, but it wasn't something that was gonna make me be like, yeah, I'm gonna come back to Halo later on and play it again and do all that stuff. It just didn't grab me that same way, right? It was good enough for me to finish it, right? Um, which is a good thing. But multiplayer wise, Halo for me personally hasn't been the same since Halo 3, Halo, Halo 2, those games, even Halo Reach I thought had a somewhat of a decent multiplayer. uh Halo 4 just kind of dropped the ball. Halo 5 was good. I think, they had their moments with Halo 5 multiplayer. 343, they've kind of had this thing going on where if the multiplayer is good, then the story campaign isn't as good, right? Or if the campaign's good, then the multiplayer isn't as good. So I think they need to find a balance there at 343. I don't think this is doom and gloom for Halo at all. I think it's just them restructuring and making things better. Even Phil Spencer, I think, even said he said, if we fail with Halo, then we failed as we failed the Xbox. Because Halo is Xbox, right? Since the birth of the Xbox, it's been Halo, right? Way before Gears, way before any of these other games, Halo was day one on the Xbox. I mean, that's why a lot of people got an Xbox, is because of Halo. Um, you know, so I think it's just gonna come down to what 343 really, wants to do with the IP. If I think they might just focus on the multiplayer, like you said, and then give the single player stuff to different companies that have a better, you know, notion of how single player gaming works, right? Not saying that 343 did a bad job with some of their single player campaigns, because I thought Halo 4 had a fantastic single player campaign.
Perfect.
Honestly, it's probably my favorite, to be honest. Like in terms of campaign wise, that was fucking amazing. 5, it dropped the ball with the campaign for me. I know for you, K Mega, you absolutely love that game.
Yeah, it wasn't the best story out of all the Halos,
Yeah,
no, but yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. And Halo Infinite, they did a good job with Halo Infinite. I'm not gonna say its campaign was terrible, because it wasn't,
No, it
and
was a
it
good
was
campaign.
far from terrible. Far from terrible. It was good. It was a good campaign. It had its moments of like, oh man, that was cool, or whatever. But it wasn't. It didn't hit that same way for me like Halo 4, or you know, I know you guys bring up Gears and stuff, and even Gears 4, Gears 5, those really hit. I mean, though, even Gears 1, 2, and 3 were fantastic. As campaigns go. Of course, the multiplayer for 2 and 3 kind of fell off a little bit for some people. Things like that. 4 brought, I think, a lot of people back to the multiplayer of Gears. So and then 5 for me personally, I know a lot of people who love Gears of War 5. That game's multiplayer just did not hit the same way, and it's the same thing with the Halo Infinite. Just didn't hit. It just didn't hit for me, right? It didn't make me want to be like, this is the multiplayer game I want to play, right? So it's I think it just depends on the person, and you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can't just sit here and say that uh the game is dead just because you didn't enjoy
Right.
that, right? It's the same thing with like you guys. Some of you guys don't like The Last of Us, right? I'm not saying you guys on the panel, but I'm saying like people in general, like the people in this chat, people that are listening to this. Some of you guys probably don't like The Last of Us, but I love The Last of Us. I think The Last of Us is a great game. I think I really do. I really do think it's a great game. Is it the best game ever? No, absolutely not. But I think it's a good game. I think it's a really good game. But it's to each their own, right? It's everybody has their preferences. Everybody has their games that they enjoy, and to sit here and say that Halo's dead or die or is just completely dead is kind of like it's kind of like, okay, how long have they been saying that? They even said that with Halo 5, right? Like Halo's
Yeah.
dead.
They said that with Halo 4. Yeah.
They said it with Halo 4 too, right? They said, "Oh, Halo's dead." Halo's dead. But then they come back, they come back some way somehow, and I think they just need to find a perfect balance between how to handle Halo, and because there is still stuff. There's still a lot of things you can do with Halo that they haven't touched on yet, right?
Mhm.
Like there's so much lore there that they could really go a deep dive into. And I know people are going to be like, well, are you saying like take away Master Chief? Not necessarily
I
take away
am.
Master Chief,
Put him on ice
but
for a
I said,
while. Put his ass on
not
ice for a
necessarily.
while.
Not
I said,
necessarily. No, I'm saying is not necessarily completely take them away, but
Yeah.
like you said, put them on ice for a little bit. Give some other characters some shine, and see where that series can go without completely taking away what Halo is, right?
how about doing a prequel where
Gears,
you talk about the
Ge-
Forerunners?
yeah, exactly, something like that,
You could, but
or
I don't. You know what I'm saying?
or
Yeah.
or something with Blue Team,
Blue
you
team, yeah.
know,
Some with blue team, some with Team Osiris, some
or
with Team
Team
Taurus. You
Osiris,
know what I'm saying?
maybe
Team
find
Shadow.
out what
Yeah.
exactly happened to Locke after the events of Halo 5. What
Yeah.
actually happened, right? Like you can go into so many different territories with that franchise, and they just haven't done it yet, right?
Now I
Well,
was.
they've done it, but they haven't
Yeah.
they haven't they
N-
haven't executed it well, right?
Now I
Um,
wonder, Dark. This is what I was.
mhm,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to say. Now I wonder because remember the rumors about Halo Infinite that they was going to do a
mhm,
reboot and it didn't happen.
mhm.
They did kind of a soft reboot. I wonder now if they started all over and
They
reboot
could,
Halo.
yeah. That would be cool to have them completely. Maybe not. Even or do even a spin-off, like complete spin-off of the Halo franchise, and make 3 games out of that, or make several games out of that. Just do something that still keep it in that Halo realm, but you know don't make it like the TV show.
No, we
Not
And I
should.
TV
know.
show.
We
TV show
need
is
Master
pure
Cheeks.
No,
E.
We
no,
need Master
no,
Cheeks.
no. We do not need Master
We
Cheeks,
need
okay?
we don't
We
need
do
Master
not
Cheeks, but
need Master Cheeks,
we need Kai
okay?
Cheeks, and we need
We
Hashtag
don't
and we
need
save
need
we don't
Master
need
and
no
we
Cheeks.
Kai
need
Cheeks.
we
We
need the
don't
little
need
alien
we don't
covenant
need
blonde
Master
cheeks.
Cheeks.
What
We
we
need
need. Bring those cheeks on. I like
we
those
need we
cheeks.
need what we need is something like what they did with Gears, right? With Gears 4 and Gears 5, right? They kind of went into different direction, but still kept it with that same um um storyline, right? They kept it with the same kind of feeling to Gears, right? With the guys got older, the main characters got older, so now it's the kids, it's the son, and then the one of the daughters of a what's her name,
Oh, of the
Kate,
queen, yeah, of the
of the
whatever.
queen, yeah.
Yeah.
So like they're kind of going into this different realm, and it's been good. Like I mean, honestly, those campaigns, Gears 4 and Gears 5, are really good.
But you know what?
Yes, the beginning of Gears
But
4 was kind of,
yeah.
but they've kind of like I want to play Gear 6. I'm waiting for Gear 6, right? But
But the
they've
fan base let them cook though.
yeah,
The
right,
the fan bases let the coalition make a story that they make a story.
right, right,
Halo
and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what
You
you gotta
just
do.
gotta do that, and you gotta just let this some of this stuff just cook in the oven for a little while, and some companies just don't know how to do that, and some companies do, and hopefully when they give the Halo IP campaign wise to a different company, that company knows what they're doing and they know how to that would be cool if it did it. Honestly, if it did it, it would be on another level of a Halo game, right? It would be a different type of Halo game, but I honestly think it would be really good. Um to see something like that. So I don't know, man. I hope that Halo can come back and really surprise a lot of people and really um kind of dog on the naysayers. But who knows? We don't know yet.
Okay. All right. So
So, K-Mega,
yes.
the fact that I said the same exact thing, but
No,
you
you
let
didn't.
the Latin white guy say it, and you're all okay about it. I see
Because
how this is.
you know what it is. It's because you said it with so much aggression. I didn't. I said it very
Oh
calmly and
please, oh
very.
please.
Well, you pissed me off so bad that
You did. You made. It was just your
that
tone,
I had to
dude,
let it
that
go.
pissed
Yeah,
him
you were
off.
just like, okay, so listen, this yeah, because me and Darks had this argument before about how he don't like Halo 5's campaign to whatever, which I don't. I cap for Halo. Well, I say cap because I ain't lying. I stand up for Halo 5 because Halo 5
No,
is
you
not.
cap for Halo 5. You
No,
cap
Yes,
for
you
Halo
do,
5.
Cap.
I'm
Sorry.
standing strong for Halo 5 because Halo 5
Yeah,
is a damn
read your
good
super
game.
chat. You
It
cap
is
for
the
Halo 5.
best Halo multiplayer, hands down, bar none. And that story
I
was
will say
not
Halo 5
that
did
bad. It
have
was
some
dope.
good
It just
flair.
it's just that the AI was garbage. And that they put the Warren Eternal in there too many times. They should have added more bosses to the game.
Yeah.
And that would have solidified things a lot better. That story
I kind of wonder if
oh my god, so
I just kind of wonder if maybe they kind of rushed the campaign for Halo 5 just so that they could get it out,
they could have, and then they also
Because I mean, the way that
the
they
marketing
advertised
was
it,
bad. Yeah,
the way
marketing
that they
was horrible.
advertised that game, they made it seem like you could play as Locke or you could play it as Chief, and you could go through this story. But it wasn't really like that, right? Like it wasn't completely where you could play as Chief or you could play the campaign completely as Locke. Like
Well,
it made it seem like it was going to have two different types of campaigns, right? One,
Yeah, that's what
somebody
I thought.
chasing, somebody's being the bounty hunter, and the other one is being hunted by.
Yeah,
They should have made it that way.
No,
Right,
they
they
should
should
have.
have.
I love the way that they did it.
No,
Like, no,
they
no,
should
no,
have made it.
no,
No,
no. You better
fuck.
get muted and booted. Which one you want?
Read your super chat.
Muted and booted. Anyway, so now let me get to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man said, "Blasphemy, Viper. Save Team Lock. Bad Viper. Absolutely." Anyway, before we get to the last topic, it's going to be real quick. I do want to say that.
I don't know.
No, it's going to be quick. It shouldn't be long. I just want to talk about the journalists and them making they're being messy. Starting off 2023, I mean, they're really aggressive. Like they're just saying all types of wild stuff. But listen, I think personally that Halo should just get rebooted. 343 did a good job with Halo Infinite. The story was not bad. It just felt like there wasn't enough story to explain things because they chopped it up so damn much. And you know, the things that they added with the boss battles, oh my god, like that was spectacular. And the open world itself, there just wasn't enough to do. It you know what I'm saying, that there should have been more. But the story was good. The multiplayer is really good. So so they hit it, but Infinite suffered from not having any DLC. That's why it suffers. And then of course the multiplayer suffered because they didn't keep it up. So I see why 343 is not going to be.
Well, they also promised
with it.
single player campaign DLC, right? For Halo. So it kind of was like people are like, it's what, a year now, and we haven't seen anything of that.
Well, there's no DLC.
Well, it was the end.
And then,
it was the
and then
end
they
of the
canceled that,
campaign.
right?
Yeah.
Right, they canceled
that,
right?
And then
but here's the thing: the end of the campaign showed you that there was a cliffhanger where, okay, there's more to come. So that's the reason why people were thinking, oh, there's campaign DLC.
Right. Yeah, the cliffhanger was right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the game was made to have that cliffhanger. Let's get some DLC. The 10-year plan. This makes sense. I'm happy for it. Let's know more. And then Staten took all that stuff out, and like I said, I'm not going to just say that he just took it out to take it out. He just, you know, they had a time limit to do things, and so they just cut it. And
you got to remember, he came in to clean up the mess, right?
Right.
So,
right. And then, but he also,
a lot of that stuff wasn't on
killed
him.
He killed the 10-year plan. That's why everybody else started leaving. Like, whoa, we put all this time and effort in making this, and then you just come in here and just start cutting, and then you say that the 10-year plan is just dead? Because he's the one that killed it. So, you know, so yeah, now that they did underperform. That's no question. So, and it is what it is. So I think personally, and I guess we're just gonna not talk about the last topic. I think that we'll talk about it next week. About the journalists and how they tripping and then bringing up we'll talk about that next week. But I honestly think this is the best opportunity for them to reboot Halo. If Halo is not going to come out until 2025, 2026, because at this point, Starfield, Hellblade is already out. It'll be what's that game? Fallout or Skyrim will be slated to come out or out, and then Perfect Dark will be slated to be coming out at that point in time. You got some really big heavy hitters there to sit there and then Gears is definitely going to be coming out. So you have the opportune time to say, we're going to reboot this bitch. We're starting all over from the very beginning, telling the story in a different light, and we're starting it from this point on and leading the charge. Have a new, just start it all over. I think that's the solution. Start it all over.
Mega, is this your gameplay of Neo?
Yeah.
You suck.
I killed that big bastard. I know you're gonna say it.
Barely.
Yeah. You said, this is hot, boy. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? I don't play them so games. I felt good because I sit there and I beat Elden Ring, and I said, well, it's a little bit different. But I killed that big bastard though.
It's
and
you need to heal a hell of a lot quicker than that, man.
Well, that was my first time me trying to figure
was
it
it?
out.
I don't know, man.
I fought that bastard like
I
guess
I shouldn't say anything good
because I beat him and I'm showing gameplay to it. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem? So anyway, thank you guys for coming to check out the GRG podcast. Let's go ahead and do our sign outs. Viper, disrespectful on Halo 5's name. I promise you, man. I on sight when I see you. I'm putting hands on
been
you.
disrespectful all night.
He has.
Every time he comes on,
Yeah.
man,
He said
disrespectful.
He said the workers. He said they didn't perform. Get their ass out of there. You should have did better. Hell with your layoff. Anyway,
He basically called you and me a piece of shit because we didn't
got laid off
perform
before.
well.
Yeah, like we just like, hey, so what? You fell off a truck. You didn't perform. I worked 9 months in pain. I worked 9 more months out in pain. That ain't good enough, Mega. Get your ass out there in that truck.
Get your ass out there.
Bro,
Working.
My back is falling. I got pieces of my back falling off inside my guts. What are you talking about? Anyway, but no. That ain't good enough. Get him out of here.
In the words of the infamous Yves Guillemot, it's all up to you as to where we go from here.
Wow. That's right. To the lawyer's office. Let's go. And we won. All right.
I think they're the next ones to get their heads on the chopping blocks. So soon as you hear about these people being laid off, Ubisoft is next. You got some employees from there that's going to be gone.
There's employees, but see, they're striking. So it's really bad out there. It's really getting nasty out there at Ubisoft. I think somebody's gonna pick them up for the cheap here pretty soon.
You seen that Paris strike?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're in real bad shape. And when you got the head of them, the head sitting here saying, "Look, y'all gonna have to perform and get us back to where we were," he says, "It's up to you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's letting you know, hey, it's up to you or you.
Acting like they Uncle Sam or something.
Right. It's up to you. He's like, he says, don't let the doorknob hit you where the dog should have bit you. That's what he's saying.
Oh, shit. Damn.
That's, when somebody tells you that, hold on, wait a minute. If somebody comes to you and say, it's up to you to make this happen, you already know what that means. This is your last chance, Jack. This is it. So, yeah, no, it's getting bad out there at Ubisoft, man. And I love Ubisoft
I know who's
games.
going to pick them up. I know who's going to pick them up.
Sony. Anyway.
Nope.
No.
It ain't going to be Sony.
It'll probably be Embracer or Tencent.
It'll be Tencent.
Embracer ain't got that money. It's going to be Tencent.
Tencent already got a bunch of stake into them right now.
Yeah,
they got
so
42%.
Tencent then.
Yeah.
They have 42% in stake in Ubisoft. So all they need is 10 more.
Like I told people before, and I'll keep telling them, you need to be worried about Tencent because they are some scheming motherfuckers over there.
Yep.
Tencent is out there like, Ubisoft is becoming about the streets. They out there desperate. We gonna let them starve a little bit. Then we'll get them we'll get them. We'll come pull
for
up
cheap.
on them.
Yeah,
we'll come pull
that's
up
what they're
on
trying to do.
Yep, get them for the cheap. So, all right, and then Ubisoft's gonna be saying, "Oh my." All right, when they see that bag. So, anyway, so where can we find you at, Viper?
You can find me in the hospital. You can find me not on Twitter, and I'll be on Xbox sometimes.
All right, okay. You said you'll be on Xbox sometimes. Damn. So you turn into a PC master race or a Sony like big time gamer or a Nintendo.
I'm PC master race now.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Right now, while I was on the show, I was playing Vampire Survivors on the Xbox, but
no, you weren't. You were playing Bug Snacks. I saw it.
I was playing Vampire Survivors, then I played Bug Snacks. So
yeah.
Bug Snacks.
Okay.
Bug Snacks. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, I play Game Pass, but yeah, most of the time I'm gonna be on the PC.
Damn, he turned into a PC. Whatever that I won't call him Master Race because Master Race is the ones that's going to be playing a Forspoken 4K 60, baby. That's Master Race.
No.
No, they're going to be playing it like 1080 20 frames per second.
Yeah,
Here's the thing I say.
My 2070 is gonna be spitting and hurting and choking. I'm like, man, what you doing? 2070 Super? What you got?
Oh shoot.
I may have a 3090 Ti. I may have a 16 core 32 thread AMD CPU. But yeah, I'm not getting for broken. I will not.
Disrespect.
I won't do it.
All right.
And
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, you was gonna talk for another 10 minutes. I told you 3 hours or less. We changed the rules here. I want to hear about your dusty
talk that
PC,
much throughout
sucker.
the show.
Yeah, we want to hear about how dusty your PC is getting.
But what you said was just was enough. We didn't want to hear nothing.
Emotional damage.
Anyway, no, I'm just Damn Solo, where can they find you at, brother?
Oh, well, and they can find me on the center.
Sound like you sound tired.
Well, I am. I'm pretty tired. But yeah, they can find me on the center 850. Ark Survival Evolved. If that's where you're looking for me, that's where I will be on that server. But if you don't play that game, you can also check me out on Twitter at HamSolo05 Gaming, and then I do a ton of stuff on my YouTube channel throughout the week. That is TSWS Gaming. If you haven't checked it out, please go do so. Hit that subscribe button. It takes just a couple seconds out of your day to do that. Your boy's trying to grow. I have some fantastic interviews coming out. Just this last Thursday, did one with Dre Watson. That was fantastic. And bro, guess what? During this show today, I've been emailing back and forth during the show while we were talking about Halo and stuff. I was emailing back and forth with Seamus Blackley.
Nice. Good deal.
So you might be able to see him in the near future on my show. So make sure you guys, in case you guys don't know, he is one of the fathers.
Yes.
Of Xbox.
He is.
Make sure you guys go check out my channel.
I would say he was probably even the brainchild behind the Xbox.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then he be baking some bread. Boy, bread.
And what does TSWS stand for again? These stinky white sheets? What?
Yeah, you know it.
I didn't mean to laugh because I love TSWS, but that was funny.
What?
Oh man.
Well, anyways, it stands for They Said, We Said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Y'all nasty.
Yo.
Ham, you got to show every single day, man. I try to catch it, but there's times where I'm like, damn, dude.
Bro, I said that little puffy ass fro of yours is gonna go just fall off in patches because I said you keep on wearing yourself out. I said I give you 3 years. That little patch in your head is gone, bro.
Man, I can keep going. Hey, I can keep going.
You keep going?
I can keep going and go. I actually have to stop myself from streaming most times.
Really?
Or like stop myself from like getting on and making a video and stuff like that because I just enjoy it. I thoroughly do. I like talking to people. I like learning new things.
Well, you're still fresh.
It's just authenticity for me, man. It's just like I just like it.
I love it too, but
damn, we got the Energizer Negro here.
Oh my God! Oh man, we gotta get out of here.
Oh man!
Well, thank you, Ham. I wish you luck on getting
trying to steal my shine. God damn!
Let that man work, man.
Little thief, little nasty thief.
No, he's. But shout out to Blackley, man. Like I said, the one of the fathers of Xbox and can cook some damn bread. I really would like some of his bread. He makes some really delicious. Anyway, last but not least, Dark Artemis.
Yeah.
Where can they find you at?
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Okay, keep going.
I love that. So funny. Yeah, man. You guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Artemis. You also find Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And as always, K Mega, it's been a blast, man. I love chopping it up with you on gaming and stuff, and everybody on this panel, Ham, I guess RG Viper and I'm missing Loke right now. I miss that guy right now. I know he's probably sleeping and stuff, but
he's sleeping now.
Oh yeah, he's probably sleeping, but
he drank some goat's milk before he went to bed.
and I guess Sir X-Man too, being a Mogwai over there and stuff. Miss Patty, I need to pay her more money, I guess.
He keeps on escaping.
You need Miss Velma.
I know. I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to get him 2 nurses. One for when he's for him going to sleep, and then one when he wakes up, so then she can put him back to sleep.
Right. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep him hydrated. That's all we want. Just keep him hydrated.
Just keep him hydrated. Keep him hungry. Let him go to the bathroom. Let him do all his things. Just keep him off the podcast. Damn it.
Oh my God. All right, man.
I love that guy. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming and checking us out as always. Tomorrow I will not be streaming because I will be hanging out with a buddy watching the playoff games. And it's his birthday, so he wanted me to come along.
Oh man, I'm just so upset that the Rams aren't there, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know it's okay. We won last year.
I hate it, but you know, as long as the 49ers just don't win the Super Bowl, that's all.
Exactly, dude.
That's
oh my God,
if
the fucking 49ers win the goddamn fucking Super Bowl, dude, I'm gonna be so goddamn fucking pissed. Let's not even get into it. Let's not even get into it because I'm gonna be so mad. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's gonna be trifling. But anyway, so go Cowboys. Go
yeah,
Eagles,
for real.
Giants.
Tomorrow,
or go Bengals,
yes.
Bengals, Kansas City, or Buffalo, whoever, or Jacksonville, whichever.
Yeah.
Anybody else except for them. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hey, if you're getting ready to go out to do your thing, remember, keep it safe. You know what I'm saying? I got to live through you. I'm a married man now. You know what I'm saying? But that pants off, dance off. Enjoy yourself. Strap up. All right, guys, we are out of here. Peace.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.